Oh, sorry, didn't see you there.
Who's there? What? Who's there?
So I was just starting the advert. It's them.
I know.
Oh. Knock, knock.
For fuck's sake. Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello. Didn't see you there.
Oh yeah, because we got my sunglasses on. Didn't see
yeah.
us. Welcome. Just had a great episode with Harry Stachini and Lewis Coleman of the All Made Up podcast.
Which is a podcast we've done, which you should go check out because it's a hilarious concept. Yeah. It's really, really good podcast.
Had some good chats in there.
Chatted about everything. Life.
Felt like we touched on all sorts, didn't we?
Sex.
Coming at a bus stop.
Yeah.
And your pre-teens.
Yeah.
But before all that exciting, juicy pod material, I'm going to tell you about Patreon, haven't we, as always?
As always.
What's over on there?
Patreon is a platform in which you can support this podcast and help us to grow and thrive and take over the world.
For how much?
Only £3 a month.
£3 a month. You get access to everything we've ever put on there and all the future things we put on there. £3. If you pay £3 right now, you can access over 15 live shows. God knows how many extra episodes of this. All the specials we've done. You can watch that all
over
now.
Over 60 bonus episodes.
For £3.
And then
which is boss, innit?
All the specials. It's so good. It's so worth it. We've got absolutely loads of stuff on there. If you've like run out of stuff to watch, or if you've not, watch ours instead.
Do you know if you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna buy like a coffee tomorrow, just skip your coffee and fill up on all the content.
Caffeine for your ears.
Caffeine for your ears. That's what our content is over there on Patreon. If you want to pay more than £3 a month, you can. You pay £5. You get a poster, and you get early access to tickets and discounts on tickets and merch. If you want to pay £10, you get a free live show ticket, which all the live shows are on the Patreon. You can watch all of them, the live talent shows. Mm-hmm. You get a live show ticket every month. You get discount on merch.
Signed print.
Signed print and the members only club card. Now, we've got some new tiers.
We have got some new tiers. Hey guys, you like masturbating to feet?
I heard.
In particular, my feet. Then head on over to our very expensive Patreon tier where you can receive 2 foot pics from me for £100 a month, and I'll send you a new 2 every month and you can enjoy them
however you please.
Like. It's blues.
I've had a lot of people asking, and we thought, you know what? Nothing else has worked out.
Like
the last
message I got was like, can I come in you? Obviously not, mate. However, you can sign up to Patreon.
So there's a new £100 tier. That gets you 2 foot pics a month.
There's a £200 tier, which is lewd.
There's a £200 tier, which is 2 sexy pictures a month. Of Amy, not me.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be £500.
£500, and we'll do a podcast in your house, wherever you want. We'll travel the country with our firm.
We'll come down, we'll do a pod in your house. It'll be dead fun. You can invite whoever you want. You can all chip in, 20 quid each. Fill your gaff out. We'll come do a podcast.
What else?
That's up there. And then £10,000.
£10,000. You can pay me to have some new tits, and I'll send you a tit pic every month.
I think you can. I think that's only redeemable once.
What?
Because you can't have like 6 pairs of tits.
No, yeah.
So it's a one-off. If there's any rich, if there's any rich sugar daddies out there that want some free, £10,000 worth of tit pics from Amy.
I'll do that.
Sign up to that tier as well.
If we've got any
there's a tier for everyone.
Rich people watching who just want to flex.
Yeah. Flex by buying my gal some new titties. So go check out our new Patreon tiers, and if you don't want any of that stuff, just £3 will do. You can have all the content. But if you're one of them kinky boys that keep messaging about the old foot pics, now's your chance. You get 2 every month.
And it's not cheap. Scum ain't welcome.
It's not cheap because you put good price on your products.
I've made that. I've done a proper photo shoot. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks great.
That's great.
It's expensive.
So go sign up. Check out the stuff over there. There's loads of stuff on there. You won't be disappointed for just £3. And if you're into that kind of stuff, you really won't be disappointed for the 100. On with this week's show. Harry and Lewis. Dead fun. Cameron here as always. Enjoy.
The Mile High Club. The Mile High Club. The Mile High Club.
We'll love it.
Oh, I caught that at the start. Hello, Sue. Right, we're back. Mild High Club episodes, something, don't know, 100 and something.
Yay, welcome.
We're joined by two of the, what are we?
All Made Up podcast. Is that what it's called?
That is what it's called, yeah, the All Made Up podcast.
Yeah, I was trying to think, I was trying to make something up though. But my head doesn't, because why not?
What are you trying to make up?
What they do.
Oh, right, like something different to that podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
we should
that.
make up this whole podcast.
Yeah, everything we talk about
So
on this
you're-
podcast is going to be fake.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. Yeah.
Nice, I like that.
So we're joined
I'm
by...
not even here.
It's Stachini, innit?
It is Stachini.
I've gone back and forth on that name every time I bring you on stage at somewhere. I'm like, Stachini. Everything.
Zucchini.
Yeah.
Harry Stachini, Lewis Coleman.
Harry Zucchini. That is very good.
Harry Zucchini.
Harry Zucchini. What do you reckon?
I don't mind it, yeah. I mean, I've had all sorts, but yeah.
Are you Italian?
Yeah, but like lukewarm. Like it's diluted to absolute,
What?
like it's transparent.
What, what percentage?
Are you talking like it's 4 generations back? The first Italian to come across in our family was a guy called Antonio, and his middle name I can't even pronounce, right? But his second name is obviously Stachini. And then he came across, he was a violinist, and I know this because my ex,
Now you've said that, you look a bit like an Italian violinist.
right, okay.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
You said it was Polish as well.
No, it's not Polish.
You said to me Polish.
I've never said it was Polish.
You said
You look Polish.
Who was going to describe me as the guy out of Inglourious Bastards? Was it the one who
That was me.
Was that you?
Do you know the one who gets done in by the bear Jew?
Yeah.
Because he won't give up the gun.
Yeah, full man,
Isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
If it get me shot back and sides and then it completes the look.
You sound well too northern to be anything but English. So.
Imagine if he was in the SS.
Yeah. So anyway, we done your podcast the other day. It was class. You properly enjoyed it, didn't you?
I loved it. I really love the concept. It's called All Made Up. And
Yeah.
when's that out?
I reckon it's either next week or week after, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go check
It might be
out.
out or it might be out next week, but go check it out. And if ours isn't out, go and listen to the other one. James Allen's been on one, hasn't he? Like, you basically just make up a story from start to finish.
And you make the
over
cover,
the podcast.
is it? Do you make the cover art for it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Lewis
I
does that.
design like the artwork for each episode. So
Hilarious,
we'll
like
depending on-
movie posters, aren't
yeah.
they?
So
So
good,
the
isn't
sort
it?
of story or movie we come up with, then I'll sort of design it as if it was a film poster.
Yeah.
Because the aim is to sort of like an epic sort of moment would be getting all previous guests on, right, and creating like an Oscars.
Like
you know-
a super story.
No,
Oscars.
no,
Sorry.
like-
Yeah.
Best actor, best
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
best
That type of
character,
thing.
best story, best ending,
That
best
That's
death.
good.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
class.
mean?
But then you could
Put that on
also do
Patreon.
like the Marvel. where
Yeah,
they cross over.
exactly.
You'd have
Yeah.
people's characters coming into each other's stories.
Yeah.
Like a multiverse.
Well, like inviting different guests with their specific character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be very good,
There's-
actually.
I think what's good about the podcast is obviously each guest just creates an entirely different, unique character. And like Liam Pickford's, obviously, have you seen Liam's episode number 3?
No,
Yeah.
I've seen Liam live though.
I've seen that
Yeah.
clip. It's hilarious. Where he's
Satanic.
played at New York
Yeah,
dentist or something. I don't know.
Like Liam lent into it just like balls to the wall, and it was something else because I picked him up on the way across from Atherton train station, and he just had his tooth out, and was like, "I'll be honest, mate, I'm not really like feeling this." And then I thought this might be a bit of a tough episode, right? And he got in front of the mic and was like, "You satanic fuck!" And you're just like, mate, I think you're on.
I think you're all right, yeah.
But it was
hilarious.
unreal. But yeah, we essentially make a story up.
It's
out
a
of
great
nothing.
idea, yeah,
It's
because
a really
every
good idea.
episode's different in it. Every guest brings something different to it, and that it's
And it's never
Cool.
going to dry up. It just like supplies itself.
Everyone says they really like it. Anyone who's been on it who I've spoke to, they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we love
Just
that
really
one.
silly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
You can. It just gives you a chance to just do what you want, and it just be dead silly. Just go, yeah, he's fucking. He rides a penny farthing and what?
Yeah. The hot air balloon in yours was very good.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, that hot air balloon
Yeah,
was a
class.
corker.
Go check it out. Some cliffhangers in there.
What was the title for that episode?
fucking something,
What was it called again?
It was about the apple, wasn't it? It was like
Is it Apple? Not Apple.
it was something about the apple,
Yeah, yeah.
the wish apple.
Fucking hell, can't remember.
'Cause
now.
every time you bit the apple, you got a wish, didn't you?
Spoilers. Stop giving
was
spoilers. It's
Yeah,
like a Black Friday
right.
episode.
We'll try and remember that later on. 'Cause it'll-
But we've had like the episode that went out recently was called "Blood is Thicker Than Mortar."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had like Lethal Weapon Tooth.
Ours was a pun. It was a pun.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
they're all puns.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was some. What is to do with apples? Wasn't like an apple a day. Like one of your 5 wishes a day or something. I can't remember.
I think it was something along that lines, you know.
Yeah.
Wasn't it something to do
What
with
was the song?
wheeze, though?
What was the soundtrack? What was the song we picked for the soundtrack for it?
Apple of my eye, wasn't it?
No, yeah, it was DJ Sammy.
DJ Sammy.
DJ Sammy.
Yeah. Anyway, I imagine we'll come up with that because I can't even. It's
Yeah.
not close to my head yet.
No. But it was good. It was a lot of fun,
It
and that's
was
the first time we had ever had 2 people on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Did
Because
that-
sorry, go on.
Was that like different? Did you notice a different in the dynamics of like how much stuff gets created for the story, or
Well, it was more trying to think how we was going to do the format because I was thinking, are we giving them each the opportunity to build their own character and it's them two in that world coming up with something? But I would say that Amy was the one sort of like driving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
because Dean
it-
suggests something and then I go, no.
yeah,
We're going to the National Transport Museum. Like Eurostar. What
just
you
the
on
style of the podcast like lends itself to what she does, like writing and that. And I'm like, I'm not that
Oh, no,
imaginative.
but
Do you get what I mean? So
The things you were adding onto it were very
I'm
very
good at
funny.
toppers. I'm
Yeah.
good with
Yeah,
tags.
that's it.
That's all. I'm a
Yeah.
tag man, mate.
Yeah.
That's what
So
my thing is.
what's your history?
My history.
Yeah.
Born and raised
What's
in
your
Leeds.
history?
Yeah, so
Join the SS.
yeah. I was in Inglourious Bastards. No, yeah. So went to Sheffield Uni and did like a drama sort of degree, and
Drama.
went to drama school, and then met my girlfriend there, Clem. We
Yeah.
set up.
She was on
She's
our episode
great.
as well, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was
guest
the guest host because Ben was at
She was
Glastonbury.
desperate to keep getting her tits out. So I remember.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a bit of a
There's a joke between them two.
Well, I was just not basically. We sat around their table, Lewis and Clem. Right, this is just me, Lewis and Clem in their house, and I always make a joke that Lewis has got like his nipples look like they've been sewn on,
Right.
like ironed on. They're so flat to his body.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it's insane. And we were chatting about it in the kitchen, and he had his top up, right, and was like, "Yeah, they're not that bad." And then Clem just lifted hers up, right?
Right.
And as she did it, I was like, put my head down like that, and I'm like looking at Lewis, and they're both looking at me like, "Why are you being weird?"
Yeah.
Right?
Stop
And
being a
then
weirdo.
yeah, I was
Look at her tits, will you?
I know. I was like, Clem, like she had a top up like that. She went, "Harry, it's just skin," and I was like, "Yeah, it is, I suppose." Yeah. And then since then, she was like, "It's just skin," and
Yeah,
I'm like,
right, okay.
But you know what I mean? You'd be like, "It's just skin," but you're in a playground. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
skin.
just with your
Yeah.
fucking scrotum
Yeah.
pull out the bottom of your shorts.
But
Just skin.
That's why she kept reaching for it, because she was like, "Oh, just give me tits out." And I was thinking, "It's just skin, Harry."
Just skin.
Wild.
Putting you under pressure.
Yeah. Because I'd love it if she did, and then when you were both looking at me like, "What do we do?" And I'm like, "It's just skin, guys."
Just skin, baby.
Well, met Clem at drama school, set up Get Giddier, which is like a production company where we try and basically our premise is make stuff for free and then get paid to sort of make it professionally. So we did it with something called Life in Non-League, which was like a series that me and my mate made about non-league football.
Yeah.
Like a comedy. And then that got sort of picked up, and then we've just created another series. Well, we created it a few years ago called What Else Is There, which is about basically it's about two, like a boy and a girl in a relationship, but they've sort of moved in together more for rent purposes than like love, but
Yeah.
there was like a bit of a spark there, and it's like time's passed, and it's about how difficult it is to sort of make that commitment of buying a house together. And yeah, we did a writer's room actually,
Yeah, it was
didn't
really
we?
good on
yeah,
Sunday.
we did it on Sunday. We did our first like writer's room.
Oh, sick.
And it was mint, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a good laugh. Like,
Yeah, because it's nice. Comedy's like quite solo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, like with podcasting, you've got that like team around you, right? But when you're doing the writers' room, yeah, you're bouncing all these different ideas, and it was just there's like no pressure to it. You know what I mean?
Like, there's no
and-
bad ideas, sort of. It's just like
Yeah, but it's also nice, like the fact it's not my world. You know what I mean? It's like it's their world, and you're looking at it from an outsider's perspective. But with everyone kind of chipping in, it does start to.
it is similar.
does work.
It's similar to doing the pod, like where you are just sort of like putting someone in a situation. and
maybe
being
this
like,
could happen.
Yeah. And it's a good laugh. But also, then I did like stand up, and that's where I first met you.
Yeah. We done a gig in Bolton, I think.
Yeah.
Like something
Yeah,
Brass
was it
Monkey
for
or something.
Adam Anwar? Was it his gig, that one?
Maybe. I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The last time I was like here was you was hosting the hot water gig. Do you not remember me coming?
You were there in the audience, and I was like, "Do you want to jump on?" And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
No, I'm just like,
well, because I'd been doing like some videography in Liverpool.
yeah.
And I parked my car in Mount Pleasant. Do you not remember?
Oh, and it just shuts at 8 o'clock.
Oh.
It shuts at
It doesn't
Not
open anymore.
Yeah, well, it
24
did when
hour
I
now.
went. There's no like obvious signage. So I did the job that I needed to do. Came and watched the gig. I was like, oh, this is all right. This, and there was just something like irking me at the back of my head. I thought, is there a limit on this car park? Obviously, go back, locked up, no way of getting into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, rang up. No, we can't. It'll be tomorrow, mate. Ended up staying in the Adelphi hotel. That was an experience.
You had a magic
It was
wishing
like
apple.
Elden Ring. Honestly, it was like a ruin. It was like unbelievable. Like the paintings on the wall, I saw them,
yeah.
they were moving.
I've been sick on their roof.
Sick on their roof.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Take that.
It was from the bottom. It was just really it just projected.
Yeah, I just was on the roof and I was sick. That's it,
You
really.
used to have the tattoo. Well, I think they still do have the tattoo
CBD
convention in
gummy?
there.
A CBD gummy. I've got to drive. That's the only thing.
No, it's CBD. It's not THC. It's CBD. This is Holland and Barrett shit.
What is a CBD? What's CBD then?
It's just good for you.
All right, okay.
It's a
And then next
non-psychoactive
minute, I'm in my car. I feel
Party.
like I'm on the moon.
Yeah,
yeah.
marijuana.
I
That's-
wouldn't
They just
spite
feel good. They just make you feel good.
Yeah, they're good.
And you
Good for your
don't-
health.
Go on, you take one, and then I'll see
Yeah.
like the difference
I'll have
between me and you after.
You'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
all
Good
right.
arms.
You literally,
Sorry.
you'll either feel just a bit more relaxed or nothing at all.
All right, okay.
Just nice sweet.
Do you get what I mean?
They're completely
Just tastes
legal.
nice.
It's not an edible.
All right, okay.
But one of them is.
Yeah, one of them.
One of them is.
Danger edible.
One of them
Oh,
is.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
just like
Do you know what?
Oh,
Sweet. It's like a
It's
tampastic,
sweet.
isn't it?
I'll have
it
one.
was that
One more,
one. No, it wasn't really.
Get me daily allowance
So
when I come.
you all are you still doing the teacher podcast one?
Staff room.
Staff room.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Hang on, mate. This is gonna sound shit on the
What?
mic.
Oh,
You-
so- yeah.
What? It's all right. I'm
Do you want me
so
to suck
sorry.
it or just have it like?
Just scan it.
Just
We'll
talk
wait.
it all.
Sorry, probably.
All
It's
right,
not your
well,
fault.
let's
Like
talk.
everyone was fine, not eating, and
alright,
then
I'm
Amy
sorry.
went. I was
Right.
trying to talk about something. Amy went, "Do you want one of these?" I was like,
Um,
"Well, I'm not talking about my thing anymore, am I? Never mind."
I like it though.
Basically the staff room. I'll definitely come back and do it again this year.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do it in a studio.
Right.
But trying to get guests that I wanted, it was just too difficult. So I'm
Yeah.
going to do it again on Zoom.
So it
I'm
was
just working on it.
stories about
Yeah,
in
teachers
schools
send
and that.
me anonymous stories, and then I read them out to comedian guests. And
like
like
it.
I've had, I had loads come in initially, right? And you obviously you're picking your best ones, and you get somewhere they are just complete shite. You know, someone's like, Thomas called me a knob. And you're like, right,
Nice
okay.
one,
Can you-
yeah.
I'm like,
What
can
am
you
I
give me a
gonna
bit
do
more
with that?
detail on that? He's like, sorry, a fucking knob. Like, cool. Right. That's not really a story.
Yeah.
The ones that have like the most detail just tend to punch and have a lot more. They're just great.
Yeah.
But I got one recently that's coming on the next term, and I won't go into too much detail. But like I read it, and I've shared it with my housemate Sam, and he was like, I'm not sure you'll be able to share that like on the podcast.
Is it
And
nonsense?
It's not noncy, but it is like it does make you white knuckle.
Borderline.
Yeah. It's not like no adults at fault. It's a kid doing something that's like.
Yeah, a bit much.
Yeah, and you're like, can you imagine? And the teacher like discovering it, and they're like, shit. And this kid's eyes are in the back of their head. Right? But I was
What
like,
does that mean?
just like they're having the time of their life.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
Okay.
my
And
word.
it's like in a classroom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh my god, I need to know this now. Tune in, the Staff Room podcast.
It'll be the first podcast that's on Panorama.
I briefly done a thing on the creepy teacher feature because there's always like mad teachers in schools and that. I just like hearing about mad teachers because we used to have a teacher who'd draw like the map of the world on the board, but he'd like stop the class to do it. Like he had to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So people would just like bait him into it. So then they could just fuck off for the rest of the lesson. Do you get what I mean? Like, have you ever
What, you used to do? What you used to what? You used to draw a map.
draw the map of the world? Like
So people would be like, hey,
every
sir, bet you
country.
can't draw the
Yeah.
map of the
Oh,
world
right,
again.
to get out of work.
yeah, and he'd
So-
be like, I'm not doing it again. And everyone would be like, yeah, because you can't.
You can't do it, can you?
Start doing it. Everyone would be like, yes. Until they
How
and
does
then-
that happen every lesson? Oh, that's
I don't know if it was every lesson, but like they get it.
quite often.
I think, yeah, a few times. But yeah, we just had mad
Imagine needing
teachers.
to prove yourself that much, though, that you can draw the map.
I think there's just something in his head that just made him just go, "Fuck you, kids, stupid, holding me back." I don't know, like, just blaming
Wait,
them.
what
did he...
Go on, what country did he start with?
I don't know. I wasn't in the media class.
Right.
Oh, right. I was
like
about to say, what
media
did he
class.
teach? It'd be funny if it was
He
maths.
was a
and it
media
was-
teacher.
Media
Yeah, yeah.
teacher though, yeah.
But like, I had a business teacher who was telling us all about the fucking. I told Barry and Haley last week. Like, he was telling us that the Titanic conspiracy. That was
I've
my
heard
business
that, yeah,
teacher.
it was an
and shit
insurance
like
job.
that. Yeah, another
Yeah.
business teacher was a stand-up comedian.
It's funny. I
And it's
imagine him
just
like
mad.
getting out his own textbook for the class. Like, this is the real one, kids. Right, here we go.
He's hid it in the real one.
yeah.
It was mad.
The stand-up business teacher must have just not wanted to be there. Then.
Yeah, I don't know what like.
For our business class, right? It was. I remember our teacher. She'd been spiked and she couldn't taste anything anymore. So she'd just have fizzy, like water or anything fizzy, just so she could feel the bubbles.
Just so she could feel.
But every
Where was she
class,
spiked?
just out and about. But every class, we
In the
just
mouth.
watched Dragon's Den.
Wow.
That was it. There was not
Business
nothing.
class.
Yeah,
Go-
we just watched Dragon's Den.
Make
It's
notes.
class, though,
That
innit?
sounds class.
Yeah.
I
it's
love
great.
Dragon's Den. Dragon's
Yeah.
Den is
Yeah.
mint.
Yeah.
For me, that.
You don't like that?
I'm not massive on it. No.
Gary Neville's on it, isn't he?
What
Is
do
he?
you-
Yeah, he's
Was he
in
a
it.
new
you watch?
dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, is he a
fuck
dragon
off.
on it?
Bizarre,
I thought
that,
they were
innit?
pitching something then for a
I
second.
thought he was like hosting it or something, but no, he's a new dragon.
Who?
I'm definitely watching.
Gary Neville.
Who's that?
Ex-Manchester United player. He's like a very successful business guy. He owns loads of shit in Manchester.
Yeah. So weird to see him on there.
Yeah.
We had a teacher. I threw a paper airplane at her, and she was like, "Some people are scared of paper airplanes," and then referenced 9/11. I was like, I just didn't mean to. I just thought it'd be funny.
That seems very unnecessary.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
9/11 paper airplane.
That's so
Yeah.
like 0 to 100 too quick, innit?
Yeah.
We had
Teachers are
creepy
mad.
teachers as well, though.
Yeah.
Weird.
I was just wanting to get into if you had any of the stories that
Will you have to save it for this podcast?
What I can share.
ones that you can share with like just
Well, like as an
a
example,
good
like,
one you can remember.
right from the first term, the one that there was a few. Right, the first one, episode number 1, a teacher was doing a sex ed class, and secondary school, all boys school, and this year 7 lad came to the desk at the front during the activity, and said to the teacher, he said, "Sir, do you know when you ejaculate, like can you make it happen, or does it just happen?" And he was like, "Why? What do you mean?" And he said, "Like, just can you make it happen, or does it just happen?" He said, "Well, sometimes it can be like, or he doesn't really want to be like, you can wank." To this kid.
Yeah, if you rub it enough, it'll
yeah.
just happen.
You
yeah.
learned that in year 8. All right. But yeah, he was like, well, kind of can and you can't and all the rest of it. And he was like, all right. And then the kid was like, because I think I ejaculated at a bus stop this morning. Right. And the teacher was like, your teacher was like, you think? And he's like, yeah, I think. And then the
In
teacher
front of
was,
everyone.
no, he's like, imagine all the kids are working.
Yeah.
The kid's gone to the desk. Imagine if
Okay.
he stood, sir.
I think I come in a
I think
bus
I've
stop.
ejaculated, but he was like, I think I've
Anyone at the bus
ejaculated at
stop.
a bus stop. And the teacher said, I think you should probably go and like check, just go and check, your kecks essentially. And then this kid goes and checks, comes back, and like in the middle of this, the teacher's like, it sounds wrong, but I'm also almost excited to know what's happening. And that's what I mean, is that's like the tone of the podcast. So then this kid comes back in and says, I might have. Like I think I might have, and he's like, well, you either have or like you haven't. You know what I mean? I don't think there's like a grey area in this. And the end of the story is like he never found out if this kid did or didn't in his pants. But just like the mental image of a year 7 boy at a bus stop and his eyes just crossing, like he's just superb. But there was some mental ones.
dear.
There was like a teacher sent me one about head teacher they worked with, and this head teacher was like awful, and they were the head teacher of a PRU, which is like pupil referral units for like naughty kids.
Right.
And this head teacher made an 8-year-old boy who was kicking off stand outside in the snow for 5 minutes with no shoes on as punishment. Right?
Oh.
And then the next day he couldn't come to school because he had burns on his feet.
Oh my
And you're like,
days.
and that was like one example
Paid, he was
within
good
this,
after that,
this
though.
person.
Yeah.
And this teacher was like leaving, and the teacher that sent me the story and was like basically doing things to piss this teacher off.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's mad what goes on in schools.
Oh, it's crazy. Like my mate, who I used to be in bands with and that, he became a teacher,
Right.
and like we go like metal gigs and that, and he'd just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm teaching physics tomorrow," and then he'd just be in a mosh pit, just fucking, and then he'd be on stage, fucking like death metal singing and all this, and I was just like, "Is that who our teachers were?" And then like you start thinking back at the
Just
teachers,
people,
like,
aren't
yeah, but like when you're in school,
you don't know
you
that.
see them as like fucking demigods or
Yeah.
something. You're like,
Yeah.
Jesus, don't like. But we had a teacher who was just like into like fucking metal music and that, and wanting to come to see me gig and all shit like that. But like, you just don't realize like. No, he was just a fucking metalhead, him.
No, you don't really. It's like when you was at school and you saw a teacher outside of school. That was like a mad moment. It was like,
well, like you say, it's just like my mate now is the teacher, and like you hear about like you just going out getting bladdered, and then you hung over the next day going, and you're like, it's so they were all doing that, weren't they? Everyone was like that, but we just didn't.
Our head
notice
teacher
it.
passed away, so we went to the funeral, and then all the teachers, we all went. Me and like two of my mates, we all went with all the teachers to Weatherspoons drinking after.
Yeah.
And it was like a bizarre moment where your PE teacher's buying you a pint. And you're like,
Yeah,
what
it's
is
mad,
going
isn't it?
on?
That's what our problem was like. We went to bar, and my mate had a shot race with one of our music teachers, and we were just all looking, going, "What's going on here?" And they're like, "Fucking down the bar."
pentatonic scale.
I have a very unrelatable school life.
Oh yeah.
So I changed schools like every 1 to 2 years.
Right.
And then I remember, so I can't remember what year I was in, but I went to a new school in September and I'd left by December, and they sent me to this like chav club thing, which is for pregnant dropouts.
Chav Club.
And me. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know the official name, but they
Imagine if it was called Chav Club. though, that'd be
That's
like-
what it,
yeah, you're only
that's
getting in
what
if you've got
it
Reebok
was.
Classics.
It was
That's the first rule about chav.
It was all just full of chavs who were pregnant, and then just me, and not pregnant, and we like coloured in, and they took us like the zoo and that, and I was like, smashed it.
Smash school, me, yeah.
My sister was a teacher, which still is, and she used to teach in a school with a lad who was convinced he was a car and would like drive around the school. And like to get him to stop, she'd be like, "You need to park up now. Put your handbrake on. Lesson's about to start." You're like, wow. And like we always used to joke like if he wasn't in, he's having his MOT. So, but yeah, he was convinced he was
serviced.
I always think though, like because.
It's like walking around corridor, turning left, but you're in the car. Signal.
Yeah. But I always think with kids like that and like schools in general, it's mad how you have no clue where people can go. And like I was in a school recently doing something, and there was a lad there that I knew who used to kind of teach, and I asked about him, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't go here anymore." I was like, all right. And I was like, for a good reason or a bad reason? They're like, bad reason. I was like, all right, okay.
It's never
like,
a good reason.
Yeah. And then they were like, it's just like, they're like, quite knife crimey. I was like, cool. Right. You're like, mad how things can change, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know?
Quite knife crimey.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't knife crime. Just had a new dad every so often and had to move, you know.
As you do.
With my new dad.
I think
Different postcodes.
It's gone sad now, isn't it?
No, my
No,
mate.
I think it's good because then you'd like, you know, you might have a German dad and then he can teach you German, or one who knows the keyboard, and then you learn the keyboard.
What did they teach you?
Very
What did they teach you? Yeah?
resourceful.
Did you get any skills?
What did you
Yeah,
get?
keyboard and German.
There were your examples.
Show me your
No,
German.
I forgot. Like, I used to just be able, it was when I was like 4 or 5.
Oh, you were going to say 9 then? I was going to fume on you then.
And
Where in Germany was he from?
I don't know.
Dunno.
His name was Theo. That's all I remember.
Theo.
Yeah, there's been so many dads. You have to understand. There's just too many dads.
Too many dads. Too many dads. Too many dads. Yeah, not bad, is it?
I was going to say, one of my mates got sent to a different school. It was like temporary, sort of like a managed move sort of thing. And the place where he went to, I don't remember the name of the school, but the room he was in was called Babylon 15.
That's amazing.
It was like, yeah, I've been sent to Babylon 15. and I had
Sounds like a nightclub.
That sounds
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bit in Glastonbury.
You come in Babylon 15?
Yeah.
2 for 1 on shots. You can
And
have
he was
it.
like, if he got too mad, he used to get sent to like the cool down tent.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to go to this.
Whoa.
Sounds sick.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Wigan, I think. But yeah, managed move Babylon
Right.
15.
Oh, now it's in Wigan. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
There's, the thing is though, like kids are funny and like schools are funny, and that, but like I think my idea of doing the staff room was giving an honest representation of what teachers actually
Teachers
think.
are getting up to
And like there's loads of teachers in my family, and there was a lad who, like, imagine GCSE year, had like just not tried at all, right? And it was coming up to the exams, and he went and spoke to my brother-in-law, who at this time was like a form tutor, and he was like, "Sir, I know nothing." And he's just like, oh God. And this kid would get put in detention, right? And what he would do is
That's so funny.
he would
know nothing.
I know nothing, right? He would get put in detention, and he was in detention one time. Teacher left the room, left him on his own, right? He opened the window, right? This room's on the 2nd floor.
He didn't know how to open the door.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Well, no. He opens the window, goes downstairs, right, and then lies on the floor. So when the teacher comes back in the room,
Thinks he's drugged
looks
out.
out and he's like lying on the floor like that. And the teacher's like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Ah." He's just like, and that is like, you're not registering normal things
Yeah.
in your head. You can't expect that kid to do fractions, but
That's so funny. That.
it's- yeah.
I remember I remember crying the night before my RE exam because I didn't think I was going to pass it.
Yeah.
And my
You
mum
get into
came.
heaven.
Yeah. Like just rubbish at prose. And my mum coming up and trying to console me and being like, "No, it's going to be okay. Your RE exam, it's going to be fine."
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
My dad's just laughing, going, "Why are you bothered?"
I
about
just
that?"
wish once they go, it doesn't,
Yeah.
not that important, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like, just a
Yeah.
little one. Just,
I have
okay.
no GCSEs, and I blagged my way in and got a degree.
Oh, this is mad, by the way. We can actually talk about this now,
Yeah.
can't we? So you've
Yeah.
got it.
So basically, I went to school in Ireland for a bit.
Like a spy, you.
Irish dad.
Everywhere. You know, German,
But I know
keyboard.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's fucking what arsenic. What she just gave you in that sweet before you're going to be dying
Fruit
very
Yeah.
soon.
We met a spy yesterday, didn't we?
Truth serum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Start
we
losing
did.
my
We'll
hair.
talk about him in a minute.
What did you say?
I said I start losing my hair like plutonium and all that.
So, go on, yeah.
So school in Ireland, well, they had like Gaelic classes, and it was too late for me to learn, so I just got to sit off for that one.
Right.
And then also religion, they was like, "Oh, you're not like us, so you don't have to do this class." I was like, "Oh, okay."
And then, like,
And
13 weeks out of the year, they just go off farming as
they
well,
have
didn't
13 weeks summer holidays because the farmers. That's
Wow.
true. It's true fact.
they? No one's questioning you, I don't think.
Yeah, no one said.
What part of Ireland was this, by the way?
What?
What part of Ireland?
Roscommon.
Well, he's questioning you
Where is
now.
that? That's
Well, Leitrim, and then I moved to Roscommon.
Leitrim. Okay, that's south,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
the Republic. And then I ended up dropping out of school. And they paid for me to have home tuition, right? So I got 7 hours of home tuition a week. And I still passed my exams, but there was Irish, what they call junior certificate exam.
GCSEs.
So
That's
the-
what they're called.
Yeah.
So they're not the same. So when I come back to England, they was like, "Oh, you've not got any GCSE." And I was
Yeah.
like, "But I've got junior certificate." They was like, "It's not a GCSE."
Yeah.
He was like, "Right, you have to go back a year and do them again." So that's when I dropped out after 3 months. So I was like, "This is shite."
Mm.
And then they sent me to Sheffield. And then when I went to I'd do an art and design diploma.
Right.
I was just showing me paperwork for my junior certificate, and I was like, "These are GCSEs," and they was like, "Oh, great,"
Yeah.
and just like put it down.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, don't
Yeah, and I was like,
These are the GCSEs you're looking for.
Orange sherbet, Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Is this orange sherbet?
yeah, and then they let me in, and then I got distinctions in that, so then I could get my degree. But I didn't actually have any GCSEs, which you meant to have for a bachelor
It's decent.
honours.
Absolutely.
Just shows how
snuck
daft
away
it
in
is
and
to
got a
have
That's
that.
first.
what I mean. I was
Yeah.
like, "Years out looking.
Yeah, they don't
Years out
care.
gonna check.
No,
They
stupid,
don't
innit?
check. See what you can get away with."
Yeah. Commit some crimes, guys.
Yeah. Go knife crime me. Try that. Let's get out there. Start stabbing.
Knife
So
crime.
are you teaching now? Or
No.
just
What was you teaching?
I used to work with like one-to-one with kids.
Right.
So this kid eventually was just doing everything with me. And then, I mean, he I spoke to him just like he was normal. That was the thing. But he I remember one week, we do everything together, like maths, English, science, and all that, like everything. And he was a bright lad, but he had to like write an account on the Holocaust. Okay, and if you put him in a classroom, he'd freak out big time. Right? It didn't happen. Oh, shut up. But outside we play football, so like you kick a ball against a wall, and he'd tell me what I'd want to write, and I put it down, and I'd be like, and then at the end you'd be like, that's actually a good bit of work, but he just does things a bit differently. But he said to me one week, he was like, right, I've told me mum that you're coming round on Friday, and I was like, what do you mean you told her? He said, well, you're going to come round Friday, you can stay Friday night, right? And he's not arranging a sleepover for like me and him, right? He's arranging a sleepover for me and his mum. And he was like, and then Saturday, you obviously like you can just go home. And I was like, mate, I don't think you're gonna like me as your stepdad, right? Because like you don't like me as your teacher, right? But then we used to go on like school trips and stuff, and he was always with me. And there's a place in Salford called RHS, which is like a big horticulture society. You probably like driven past it or something like that.
Seen the signs,
Yeah,
I've
it's
always
been
wondered what it was.
really nice, but it's like just like loads of flowers and stuff like that. And I'm walking around with this 10-year-old boy, right? Members of the public knocking around. He's got a school uniform on, and he is pointing at me, going, "This man's following me. He needs to stop following me, right?" And I'm just like, yeah, shut the fuck up, like just making a real point of like lanyard, right? And he was like, I need a wee.
So just quickly, any paedophiles out there, just buy yourself a lanyard.
Yeah, exactly. But he said he was like I need the toilet, and it's you're talking like 15-minute walk from where we were but you're like surrounded by bushes and that. And I said, right, we'll just go back at the building. And he was like, no, we'll go and have like a sword fight in the bushes. And I was like, no,
Lanyard.
Yeah, and that was like his way of kind of being cheeky with you. But I was just like, mate, you can't go home and your mum be like, how was your school trip? And it's like, me and Sarah had a sword fight.
Went round the back, and we didn't even go in the toilets. We done it outside.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. That's
hilarious. But he was a nice lad. He just had like loads of shit going on, and it's one of them where like if you got like if your home life is difficult, it's obviously difficult for them to be in school. So you're just like you're constantly like having to give them like the benefit of the doubt of making exceptions, but there are things like you can't strangle a mate. You know what I mean? You can't do that. She was in my way. I'm like, you're in my way. Right?
Yeah, it's heavy when you think
I don't
about
miss
like.
it.
Well, you hear like we always hear fucking arguing coming from next door and all that in it, and there's like kids in there, and you're just like, it's fucking so grim, that proper horrible.
When you see someone shout at them shout at the kid in the street, and you're just like, oh, leave him alone.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, our dog's at our plant, and I understand shouting at kids now.
Oh, he was in mine yesterday and had a wee on the rug.
A big monster.
A big.
Took about 7 years to grow. And just chewed right through it.
How did you discipline it?
I bought
Bought
them
them
a
in
cage.
prison.
You bought them in prison.
Yeah.
They're in prison now.
Yeah.
They're doing time.
He's got a plant pot on his head, so he can't get to it.
He needs a plant pot on his head.
My cat sliced my hand open last night.
Oh.
Yeah. We was trying for it had some fleas, so Clem was like, right, we need to get rid of these fleas, so you pin him, little Willie, that's his name. And I'll give him the flea stuff, but it proper irritates cats when you put it on him. So I've got him in almost like a little bit of an headlock sort of thing on the floor. Armbar, yeah. Proper chicken wing in the little fella. And she starts putting it on the back of him, and he's proper struggling. He's struggling. I'm like, Willie, it's for the greater good. It's gonna like trying to convince him it's gonna be fine.
Open he'll tap.
Try and pin him. Anyway, it gets to like last few squirts, and then he just goes and just bolts out, and then takes a chunk of my skin off in the process.
Too sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, too sharp. Too fast. But he didn't he didn't come near us for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But we give him a tube of like cat paste or whatever, and he was an happy fella then.
Paste?
Yeah, it's like a froob, but for cats.
Oh,
yeah,
sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it is. But he loves it.
Got like giraffes on it and that.
Have you ever tried to bath a cat?
No, no.
Yeah, it'll attack you.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, I would
Not
agree.
like baths.
You try and attack you just stroking them nice. You just be sitting petting them and they go, fuck off. And you're like, what have I done there?
You ever had like any, like you've obviously been scratched there, but you've ever had like any like really harrowing interactions with an animal, like
Well,
maybe being like bit by a horse or something?
My
You
mum-
what, sorry?
I've been thrown off a horse. I was trying to break
Thrown
it in.
off it.
What?
Thrown off it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trying to break it in.
Oh,
That's how you ride them. You have to break. You have to sit on them and fucking break the.
Yeah, when
spirit.
people go, they like being rode. It's like, no, you have
They
to
don't.
break them in,
Yeah.
and
Break
then
them
they're
in.
all right with it.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You make them submissive. But yeah, it threw me on my head. I did have a helmet on though, so
Nice.
Always wear a helmet.
yeah.
Yeah.
that was just
And
when
I
she was
won,
getting homeschooled.
Willie's kill list is quite high now. I reckon he's on like 15, 20 kills. Like
Birds, mice,
I
Yeah.
thought that was a friend or something then.
No, right. So I remember
killing
Yeah.
animals.
Bizarre.
Just crazy, Willie, killing animals with shovels. Pretty high kill count.
the first kill that he did, we went and buried the bird because we
Yeah.
felt really like
Little
sort
bird
of.
funeral.
Oh.
Yeah, we took it to Pennington Park, and like in the middle of the night, it was like dark, and like I was
You
just carrying a
must have looked
shovel.
mental.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
looked
source
dead.
of space.
Yeah, and we're like,
Just
did you
bury my bird.
well, it was winter time, so it was just dark. It's dark early, doesn't it? But the way it killed a pigeon, right, and no joke, it was like the size of a rabbit. It was huge. It was like that. But we don't have a cat flap. We have a shed, and then we have the window open at the top, so he sort of jumps back through the window
Right.
to get back into the house. And yeah, I come down one morning, and I noticed something at the bottom of the stairs, and it is a pigeon, yeah, big. But you've got to think the effort. Like he's
Yeah.
not just killed it. He's had it in his mouth and jumped back up
Yeah.
through a window, which is about.
His wings are probably open. That's why. It's
Yeah.
like,
Blew it up.
gliding in. That's paragliding. See that?
That's a great image. That.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Image.
I've had a bear and a kangaroo square up to me.
Whoa.
At the same time.
No, I wasn't playing Tekken 3 or something.
How,
King. Like that.
where was that?
The bear was in a bear sanctuary in China.
That sounds really friendly.
Well, it was. They
Chinese
were all
have-
like rescue bears that they use for like medicine over there. They've
Right.
been rescued and they were
Okay.
like
I
looking
wrote
after
a
them. And that.
poem, right, and it got made into a song in China, right?
Of
Dead
course.
random.
This is insane. Isn't it?
And
It's just
so,
sounds
and it was
mad.
used for like anti-burbile farming campaigns, and so we got invited to China to this bird rescue.
Wow.
Because of
So we were with like bears getting surgery and that. We were just in there like doing.
It was like cutting the
They were
claws,
Surgical
Yeah,
outfit.
Just
yeah,
like-
little masks on and
the
that.
mask on, just like we're not meant
Cutting
to
a
be
bear's
here.
claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot water bottles under their arm.
It was passed out like.
Yeah, but of course it is, mate. Yeah.
Well, you never know. Just to clip out its claws, they might.
Yeah,
they might
do
be
you know, I
alright.
really appreciate this.
Yeah,
Honestly, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Love the song. That is mad.
But yeah, so
How big's this bear, by the way?
the one that squared up to me was massive.
Yeah.
Because bears, like, I follow a Instagram page called like Nature is Metal.
Yeah.
And there was a thing the other day, like a grizzly bear
Huge.
on a beach, and this guy goes, ah! and the bear bolts off. But if that thing ran towards you, like,
Shit,
that's
innit?
it.
So,
Yeah.
so these were like moon bears in it. So
Yeah.
they're not
Moon bears.
as big
The
as
bi-
the
the
brown
bears,
bears, but
big
this
bears.
one that fucking stood up, like it stood up, and when I was stood up, its head was like there, and
The
there was just
bear
a
size.
cage.
Yeah.
They're not koalas.
Yeah.
There was just like a fucking metal gate, and they were going, oh, this is Aussie or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I stood there and looked at him, and he just went. And I was just like, fucking hell, mate.
So there's,
Jesus
a,
Christ.
there's a thing between you.
There was a
Something
gate. There was a
between
gate,
you.
yeah, but like he done that, and then the kangaroo, a kangaroo
Yeah,
done a
exactly.
similar thing in Australia. We were like feeding them and that, and walked up to one. It just went.
It was.
Like, fuck off.
yeah.
There was no fence between me and the kangaroo there.
Whoa.
Do you know them
Must
programs?
just have some alpha energy that
Yeah,
I don't
must do.
realise I've got.
Yeah.
And I walk past animals and they go, that guy's a true.
But what did you
Got
do?
big
Because there was
balls.
nothing between you. So what did you just?
The
Did
kangaroo.
you take a step back?
Bam! No, I just went, fuck off. I'm not going
Yeah.
near you. I've seen you, what you do on the fucking internet. Like, you fucking box people, don't they?
on the internet. That's a mad thing to say to a kangaroo just when it hits you. You know what I mean? Never mind, like, leave me alone. I've seen what you do on the internet.
I've seen what your kind do on the
Yeah,
internet, yeah. I have though, fucking boxing and have fucking dogs in headlocks and that. Don't
Yeah.
need that.
Dog in a headlock.
Never seen that?
I've never seen
Some kangaroo's got some fella's dog in a headlock and it won't let go, and the fella runs over and starts boxing the kangaroo to get his dog back. It's the most Australian video you'll ever see in your
I've
life.
seen that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so I've seen them videos on the internet, and I'm like, I'm not fucking boxing him.
Yeah.
Punch me head in.
Spare me that.
Can you remember the poem?
We could probably get the song up, but it's the woman has got a super Chinese accent.
Right, so you wrote it and then
Super
they performed it.
Super Chinese accent,
She's
yeah.
super Chinese.
Oh, it's so sad though and lame.
When did you write it? How old was you?
Oh, the song was made in 2013.
It's
I think.
it's
So
sad
it's a
because
decade.
it's about bears being imprisoned and have
Right.
bile drained from the stomachs.
Oh, what was the name of the poem?
I don't really want to say it. to be honest.
Go on.
if only I could speak.
Oh.
It's poetic.
I literally took the words right out of my bare mouth.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just sad. Like, can we not? It's sad. Cameron!
We'll put it on at the end.
A St. Helens
Oh,
Star
yeah,
for
yeah,
a
should we
lovely
do it at the
feature.
end? Yeah.
do
I
it
don't know where the song
Leave it on
is.
the
But you know
notes.
the video's mad because have you like
Oh, it's
there was a
sand
person
art.
on Britain's Got Talent doing it, you know, where
I've
they make
seen
like
it, yeah.
the sand.
Epic,
But
yeah.
it's the video's that, and it was like
Someone
in
doing that.
2013 or something.
So, was
Mad.
it like, did you receive a commission? Did you make some money
No,
out of it?
it's
Or
charity.
You wrote a
Just a chari-
poetry book, didn't you? Like,
Yeah, that's nothing
But-
to do with this.
oh, was it not?
If you could be an animal, what would you be?
I like pandas.
I go back and forth.
what, if you
Like-
could be an animal?
Yeah.
Did you do animal
Maybe.
studies, Lewis?
Yeah, mate, I was a warthog. It was-
Warthog.
Yeah.
He's a horse.
You was a horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What's
where
your-
did you go drama school then, I'm
I
guessing?
went to UCLan, so
Right,
not
We have
really.
your warthog noise.
What? Oh, okay, I couldn't even remember. It was
Hang on.
just like a pig noise, probably. Yeah. So basically, we had an examination at drama school where you did animal studies. So they were going round. Clem was an otter. Like some people, I think, like
That's
horse, dog, meerkat.
Mm.
Lewis, warthog. I was like, cool. And then the exam was
Cool, yeah,
Cool.
nice
yeah,
one.
cheers for that. 6 weeks learning its movements and like obviously
Yeah.
Li-
Like
like-
Lion King.
inhabiting it, the
How am
animal.
I going to sing like him?
Yeah, but then for and it was more than 20. It was like half an hour at least. The examination was just these tutors walking around
Just
the
like that.
space while there's 30 adults.
So in front of
In a van,
Yeah.
in a big
Fake
jeep.
grass in a hall. Like,
Yeah, they just walk.
There he is.
We were caged as well, which was weird. But yeah, walking around, like doing an examination of 30 adults pretending to be animals. I'm
Yeah.
pushing like a lettuce around with my nose on the floor, like trying to impress them though. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
glad you're here to validify that this is real.
oh mate, it is bonkers. It is bonkers.
They're laughing at you.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
100, and you pay like, it was a masters I did, and so you couldn't you had to pay for your masters. You couldn't get it on like student finance,
Mm.
and you do think that like these are having a laugh at us here.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah.
Like half an hour, I bet they're just going in the staff room and just think,
What are they
"Fucking
doing?
hell, what have we just
See
made
that
them
knobhead
do?"
knocking that lettuce about with his head?
Yeah,
Warthogs don't even eat lettuce. Fucking
I-
knobhead.
I hated it. Well, I didn't hate it, but I just didn't have a good time there. I didn't
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
No.
Ah.
Yeah, did 15. I did a Shakespeare module, and we did Romeo and Juliet, and I played Tybalt, and I obviously got an accent like I've got. It's pretty strong, and I remember doing it, and I'm not like blowing my own trumpet, but I was a decent actor sort
Yeah.
of thing. Anyway, I've done it, and then we got assessed after it, and a tutor came to give me my grade or whatever, and really like she couldn't be any further away from what I'm like as a person, like elite class, like really well spoken, and she just looked at me and she went, "You don't quite get Shakespeare, do you? You don't understand it, do you?" And I just looked at her and thought, "You're horrible."
Yeah.
Like what? Like why? I've just performed. I've been like obviously just putting myself out there, trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do something different because I wouldn't choose to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like nasty, but for like no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Get
this-
back to be a little warthog, you.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you go full warthog and charge?
yeah. I was just thinking, like, if you was a lettuce now,
Yeah,
Blooming,
that's
you know.
funny.
I'd a big gorilla maybe.
Oh,
It's a good one.
alpha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to think of stuff that's not too dissimilar
Silverback.
to being a human.
is that what you would be? But like, that's what you want to be. But what do you think that you are? Like, if someone was saying like you're this animal,
Oh, my spirit animal.
yeah, like what?
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Your Patronus.
Well, I think it's probably. I ain't got a clue what I think mine would be, but like,
I'm like
Who do you want to be?
a dog. got to be some sort of dog in it.
Wolf.
Nah, I'm not a wolf, me.
I reckon you're pretty lizard-like.
Dean's a hound.
Lizard-like.
Fucking Randall.
Yeah. Of recess or Monsters Inc.
Yeah. A lizard. Wow.
Yeah. I reckon you shoot that.
Like a Komodo dragon, or one you get like in a little tank in your bedroom.
Little
Yeah.
newt.
Yeah, a newt. I reckon I would be something like something that can go a long way. You know what I mean? Not fast. Not fast.
Not fast, just goes a long way.
It's like a mule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like
stamina for
yeah,
days.
yeah.
And moose would be pretty good because they're fucking ginormous, aren't they?
Yeah.
Moose.
Yeah, moose.
I wouldn't mind trying like
Why have you got a lobster tattoo?
go kill a
Or is
whale.
it a yabby?
No, it is a lobster. This is between me and my mum. This, and I love explaining it because I always get people going to me. So a lobster does not have the same shell its entire life, and me and my mum will say to each other time and time again that a lobster will change its shell and it regrows another one again and again and again, and it's just got to the point where it was like you're just changing shell. And I had the idea for about 10 months and was like, not left my head. I remember speaking to you.
Yeah,
I was like, I've got this because I remember saying, how do I like kind of go about getting a tattoo? You were like, you need to find a designer and all this and that.
Yeah.
The guy who did this fella called Daniel Ronson in Manchester. So that was the first one, and then I've got ideas for other ones, but that is the reason I have my lobster.
Looks cool, that, yeah.
What?
Generative.
So when you say like you've just changed your shell, like you
Yeah, it's just like you've grown.
grown a bit,
Yeah.
a different person to
Exactly.
what you was back that you changed your shell type.
Yeah.
Thing, yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
when I had it done, my mum was like, I think it's great. My sister was like, I like it. My other sister was like, I think it's shit. And then my dad thought it was a joke. Like he was like that's not real, that was it. And then like 11:30, 2 weeks later, I'm getting into bed and I was on the phone to him and he said, "You not had that tattoo, have you? It's not real, that." I said, "Yeah, it is." He went, "Send me a picture now." So I had to send him a picture of me in bed holding like today's paper, right?
Hostage.
Yeah, my tattoo out, and literally on the phone to me, and he went, "Harry, that looks wank." Right? And I was like, I said, "Yeah, well, I like it," and he said, "It looks shit, that." And then I told him
That's ruthless.
that is my dad though, like to a T, like he is just plain honest with me, and I don't mind that, you know, but yeah, he was like, "It looks shit." I said, "Well, it's my arm, Dad, isn't it?" And I'm literally like going to bed on this, right? And he said to me,
"Trying to sleep tonight."
He says, what the fuck do you mean change shell, right? And then I explained everything. He went, "Right, well, you should get another tattoo on your other arm for me and you. Get a knob and bollocks because you're a cock." And that was. And then since then,
Night, Dad, love
he's
you.
like he's seen it. He pulls it up. He goes, "Oh shit, that." Got a crayfish in your arm. I'm like, you know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get my mum's new fella on that arm. Yeah, that's my real dad.
That's funny.
Yeah, he said, and that's the thing. It's like it's my arm, and I've like seen other people with tattoos, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just like you're doing you, aren't you?
Yeah, you get what you want, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
just-
exactly.
I think it's smart.
Yeah, I really like it. But I had who was it? Was it someone asked me the other day? They went, "Is that a prawn?" And I was like, "No,
That's not a prawn, no.
But you know, it's a lobster. But yeah, that's the.
I think an aquatic animal would be cool to be.
Yeah,
You
you
ever
don't
seen-
really
have-
think fish.
It's a
for
new
sure.
life.
Right,
It's a new
hang on a
life,
minute.
innit?
Have you ever seen the film The Lobster?
No.
Oh, bizarre film.
Yeah, great film, right? Basically, the premise is it's Colin Farrell in it.
Yeah.
And it's you should watch this on it. It's mint, right? I took my mate to the cinema and I'd seen the trailer. I was like, this would be good. And 20 minutes in, he's like, what the fuck is this? Right? So basically, Colin Farrell plays this guy who ends up going to a hotel. And this hotel is designed for people who are looking for love. And you have 40 days to find a partner. And if you don't find a partner, you are turned into an animal at the end of that process, okay? So, like, there's a woman there's like a dog
And
walking.
then what?
What's it?
And
You're just
then
an
what?
animal.
That's it.
forever.
That's your
You live
life.
as that, right? So he chooses to be a lobster, right?
Right.
As his animal.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? And he says, because a lobster lives for 100 years and it's like lives for a long time.
Changes its shell.
Changed its shell. Yeah. Shout out, Dad. Yeah, maybe
Look
change your
wank.
shell.
I thought they didn't
But-
die because they regenerate.
No.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Yeah.
jellyfish.
Yeah.
Ah, will you Google?
Lobsters might live for a very long time. Like,
They apparently have like one mate forever, a lobster. Because I've had other people say that. He's like, that here? I'm like, no.
You and your mum.
Yeah. Shagging my mum for life. Cheers for asking. That's why my dad's so fuming.
that's why everyone goes.
Yeah. I mean, close family. It's fine. But basically, they get turned into an animal if they don't find love after like 40 days.
Yeah.
And it's really dark, but it's funny. And then there's like dogs walking around. They're like, oh, that's Tracy. And it's like a golden retriever. But you should check it out. It's just called The Lobster.
It sounds mad,
It's uncomfortable to watch because how it's like put together. There's scenes in it where it's like, oh my God. And then the cut is like something hilarious. And you're like, right.
It's mad that gets made. Like, how do you pitch that? That sounds so much more like an
I'll tell you who's in it as well. John C. Reilly.
Is he?
So Colin Firth, John C. Reilly, Olivia
Coleman,
she's in it. She plays a right bint, right? John C. Reilly. There's a scene where he gets punished because you can't have a wank when you're there, right? You can't do any of that. And he gets caught and he's in the breakfast hall. And if you imagine this like almost like the Shining type hotel, you know what I mean? It's not like it's not shiny and flashy. It's like dark.
Like the Adelphi.
Yeah. John C. Reilly's been caught having a wank, and at the breakfast hall, they're all sat around eating, and they bring out a toaster, and they put his hand in it and just turn it on, right? And he's like, and everyone's just like tucking into their eggs, right? And you're like,
you're not pull it
no,
out.
mate, it's 3 minutes.
Just gotta wait for the things to go on.
Yeah.
Turning it up to 7.
I only
Like,
realised the
I've always
numbers on a
wanted to.
toaster were minutes, only until recently. I thought it was just like gradients of heat.
Yeah,
But no, it's
How
minutes.
hot it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Lobsters have the ability to, well, this is what you said, kind of, wasn't it? They can regenerate some of the body parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can't
Basically,
live
when they-
forever, though,
No.
can
When they throw the shell off, if you Google a video of how a lobster throws its shell off, it looks
It's mad.
nuts.
They sort of
But
like shake out of the back
Yeah.
of a minute. Like,
But then they go under a rock and it forms again. And the idea is you have to feel the resistance of your shell to know that it's a time for growth.
Yeah.
Um,
I like it.
So there you go. You know what I mean? It's
Oh.
deep and meaningful, mate.
Feel.
Superb.
Superb. Superb.
Superb.
If I could read it, I call you Supreme.
Right.
Supreme.
Superb. Right, tell me when.
When?
When? I think we've been here before.
Probably. But without new
Ashwagandha.
listeners.
Ashwagandha.
Let's have Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha is a full spectrum extract. A bit like. Who's on this thing? No. Ashwagandha is a full spectrum extract with the highest concentration of all major root only extracts
Root only.
Available
Extracts.
on the market today. KSM 66 ashwagandha has been clinically proven. This isn't speculation. This isn't conspiracy.
No.
This is proven.
The guys that
clinically.
feel Supreme don't fuck about.
Nope. It says helps reduce stress, anxiety, cortisol levels, and stress-related food cravings. Helps promote enhanced memory and cognitive function. Helps promote endurance, strength, muscle size, and muscle recovery rate. Helps enhance sexual performance.
Look at
health
them.
in both men and women,
Ashwagandha.
and testosterone in men. This formula combines a powerful ashwagandha root extract with curcumin.
Look, there's loads of stuff there. Right. Let's not stop fucking about. These have supported us. You might notice we don't really have many sponsors, but we've had Feel Supreme for like over a year now because we use their products.
It's been, yeah.
It's been a while. We were in Runcorn when we first had them.
Oh yeah.
We use these products. We're telling you about them because they make you feel better. Like
Make you feel supreme. I
Supreme,
was hoping you could say it
supreme.
at the same time.
No, I was
They
just
make you feel
supreme. So you get the 5 HTPs. They're like a natural mood booster. You get your cortisone. What is it in them?
Ah.
What's in the
Damn, all-
HTPs?
What?
The HTPs. What is it? A dope? Not
It's
serotonin in
Yeah,
a bottle.
Contributes to better mood and sleep.
So you're not meant to have them if you're on antidepressants because it is like a natural antidepressant. There's got the Tonkat Ali. That's meant to be good for like a natural testosterone booster. Makes your balls grow bigger.
Ooh.
gives you more energy and stamina in the gym. Lion's mane, good for your brain. Turkey tail, good for your guts. There's all sorts in there. Go check it out. Have a look for yourself. Find something that you need. If you've got pains, aches, brain fog, there's stuff on there for everyone. All your normal vitamins and that as well. If you use the code TMHC15, you get 15% off at feelsupreme.co.uk. Local business, trying to make local people and people all over the world feel supreme. And you can feel supreme too by
If
just
you're a
going
shit
signing up.
house, get an intestinal cleanse and fortify your guts.
Yeah.
Your shit house.
There's loads of stuff on there, loads of CBD, everything you need. Go check it out. feelsupreme.co.uk. Use code TMHC15, get 15% off. Support them, support us. Love yous.
Nice.
Back to the episode. Bye.
So tell us some of these stories that you don't want your mum to know.
Yeah.
On this fictional podcast, remember, it's all
What
made
is
up.
it? What is it you want to know?
I don't know.
So we do drug stuff, if you've got any. Awkward sex stories. Proudest and most shameful moment.
Proud for the most shameful.
Toxic traits.
Cameron's got them all there.
Toxic traits. I'm trying to think. There's
What's the naughtiest thing you've ever done?
I like
This
that
is a
question.
good one.
naughtiest
I like that
thing
question.
I've ever done.
Yeah. To both of yous.
Yeah.
What was the story with your dad and the when you was on holiday that time and he was bollocking you, but you hadn't done anything wrong or something? What was that? Do you remember when you told me about that?
the MP3 thing.
Yeah. Was it that?
When I got pulled in the water.
Yeah, but I suppose that was that.
Yeah,
that
no,
was
I'm
just
trying to think the naughtiest thing I've ever done.
Are you a good boy?
I'm not. I was like cheeky, but like I never like I had some mates that I'd be like I wouldn't do that. But I'm trying to think of like I remember nicking sweets as a kid. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to prison for 2 packs of wine gums. I'm a. What are you in for, mate? Oh yeah, jelly tots.
Yeah.
Like,
What was your tactic?
yeah,
Really?
Well, was it Woolworths or something? Like,
just a shop, just like a little village shop. Just
Not get inventive with it, no, just...
No, I remember a lad called I won't say his name, but I remember this lad. We nicked like a nudie mag, right? Like it was like a Max Power type thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just like cars, girls, and like yeah. And I remember being like, we had this magazine, and both like looking at it, and we thought we can't take this home, obviously, because it's going to be like so incriminating. So what we did, and what we thought would be absolutely ingenious, was to put a magazine that is all paper under a pile of leaves, right? I thought we'll come back to this, and it'll be intact, right? And then obviously it pissed down with rain. You're coming back, you just like tits are running and everything. You're like, oh fuck yeah.
The country was littered with magazines that people have hidden.
Yeah.
Like porn on
I
my
just
fine
used
sometimes.
to download porn off LimeWire.
I mean,
you ever
we're
get
going
caught?
a bit
This is a
further
bit
back
before
than
that.
Yeah.
just porn mags in the bushes
What,
and that.
mate, tell them about
Pretty young.
when you were watching.
when
telly.
I got caught.
Yeah, funny. This.
So this is like obviously when I was obviously in my teens and obviously discovering new things at this point. And
Bus stops.
yeah.
anyway, my mum and dad had got like a dodgy box basically, and you could get all the channels on it.
Yeah.
You get all the channels, nature, sports.
Dodgy box. You made that sound like that's what it's called.
Well, that was the name. It was like
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 IPTV.
it's like an IPT. Yeah, it's like a like today's Fire Stick, but obviously this was a long time ago now. Anyway, I obviously knew that it had all the channels.
Yeah.
And I just think, right, I better go and explore what these channels are.
I like you just being like, I'm allowed. I'm just gonna go and
Just
explore.
explore.
I'm exploring myself.
Specific
Stop
alumni.
an
Exploring,
adventure.
you know,
I'll just
media.
yeah. Obviously, everyone.
I'm going to choose to go down this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Instead of going up from one. What happens if I go backwards? 999, huh?
Yeah.
So obviously, like everyone had gone upstairs, and then I was like, right, I might just like pop downstairs and
Literally.
yeah, and explore what these channels are. So I've got the remote in my hand, and I'm flicking, and obviously, like you said, I wonder what's if I click on this page, and then obviously, adult images came up on this page, so I clicked on another channel like there, and I left it on, And then I realised, well, I didn't even realise. I just heard this, Lewis!
Oh, you're done.
Oh.
Yeah. What I'd forgot is that they'd bought, one of them like TV.
attached.
It's mirrored.
They like basically
Mirrors.
whatever put you on downstairs mirrors what's on upstairs.
Yeah.
So what they've seen is them watching whatever they was watching, and then
Watching
see
Connie
me
or
click
something.
on a channel, and obviously my mum's going to be watching screen thinking, please
Don't do it.
don't go
See
to
it.
where I think you're going to go.
Nine. No.
Yeah, so she's watched my exact process
Yeah.
of getting to these adult arts, and then
Adult art.
Mate, that sounds so like nice.
Yeah.
Adult arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever watched that Peter Kay thing, adult arts from around the world?
No.
The ice cream, Mr. Softy Top
Is he
when
an
he
ice
opens
cream
up the
fella?
shop.
Yeah,
But yeah, Lewis. And then obviously I know that I've been caught.
Yeah,
So
there's
I
no
run
hiding
upstairs, and then I'm getting a bollocking. And then I think my dad didn't even say anything. My dad didn't say anything. I think he was just like trying to.
He was
avoid
watching
it.
the telly. He was like that.
Yeah,
Looking
yeah.
around your ma.
And then my mum, it might have been the same day or day after. My mum just came up to me and she went, "You do know they don't love each other, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, so if you get some real couples, you can watch that. Get some
Obviously-
amateur couples on the go who love each other, you can watch them.
Looking back, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice. Like that's nice of her to say." But at the time, I was like, "Yeah, they don't do it."
You know they don't love
Oh,
each
that's
other.
naughty.
That's naturally progressed into my little thing that I have to shout out. We've got some new Patreon tiers,
Oh,
and it's so there's for £100.
finally caving in.
I'll send you 2 foot pics a month.
The
For
Patreon tiers.
£200, lewds, 2 lewds a month.
Ooh.
For like, I'm not sure if it's gonna be like. We've got ridiculous tiers, so like 10 grand. You can pay for me off a boob job, and then I'll send you tit pics every month.
It's a good deal.
Fucking mad.
It's a great deal.
£1,000, and we'll come do a podcast in your house.
How's that one? Sign up for that.
So
Get all your mates to chip in.
Just a quick one. Can we match the 10 grand one for you? That would be very
me
good.
tits. Dead airy.
Do you remember that fella got a
Clement
tit
loves
job? He was on Jerry Springer. He got a boob job.
Oh. I need to look at that.
Who else did I hear about having a boob job towards the end of their life?
I want you for Abby, but on your thighs.
That,
Yeah.
So that-
Tits and knees. Yeah.
do you know that John Lilly guy,
D
the one
in
who,
like an A.
who invented the
Matches.
sensory deprivation tanks?
Yeah.
He used to take LSD and try and speak to
You
dolphins.
got a boob job.
Apparently he went fucking crazy and got a boob job before he died, and just used to like wank at parties and that. Just used to come out in like a robe and just wank at his house parties and shit like that.
Doing his
They'll
own
be like,
boobs.
he's crazy, him chatting to dolphins and shit like
That's
that.
mad.
I can't wait to go fully mental. The older I get, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna get more and more mental. Can't wait.
I've like got a bit of material about like people liking feet. Because I don't get it. Like feet are feet. You know what I mean?
We always buzz off one of your lines. It might be in that routine.
Go on, go on.
What's the? Well, go on. Would you say the line?
If I can see your toes, I can't see your point.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Yeah, but that is a different bit.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
right.
but with the whole feet thing, I just don't get it. But like I know girls that have had guys like buzz off their feet, and it's like it's no judgment on the guy's part, but it's just like, yeah. But
Yes.
then they'll be like, "Do you think you like feet?" You're like, "No,
No. What
like-
do you like?
I'm not." I'd be honest. I'm pretty like vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah, like I went. I had one evening one time where this one girl like basically knocked the fuck out of me, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I was like, you're a lot.
This is a bit much.
Yeah. But yeah, lovely girl.
So
but
you
just
don't like that? You don't
No, I
like
was just
getting
like,
battered?
I was like, you're fucking battering me. Like,
Yeah.
just
What's
like,
your favourite position?
not being battered. You know what I mean? Not against the ropes.
Yeah, on top.
That's what I'm saying.
In
No, when I'm
guard.
tucking in, right? And I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know? But yeah, I like.
Just wrapping her knuckles.
Yeah.
She'll be there in a minute.
Have you got
Pissing in a
protection?
bucket.
Yeah. For me.
Gum shield in.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just she was crackers, and then I remember her saying to me, when we finished, she was like, I better not become a fucking joke, and I was just like, I'm gonna leave.
I'm off.
Because you laugh.
Hopefully she's not watching now.
No,
She knows she's coming for you.
What are you
Yeah.
into, Lewis? Clem.
Horse.
Yeah, warthogs. animal
Letters.
studies. You know? Yeah, same, pretty vanilla.
I think it's interesting though, because like some people have such a clear idea of like I want this and this thing, you know what I mean? Nothing else. Whereas when I was in that situation with that girl, I like felt very comfortable being like, yeah, you like you need to fucking chill out.
Yeah.
Whereas like I wouldn't just be like, yeah, it's fine, you know what I mean, and go along with it. I was like, it's like if I'm not buzzing off it, I'm like, yeah, you can stop doing that.
Yeah, this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Someone asked me what I was into once, and I was like, I don't really know. What about you? And she went, I don't know. I've done everything except organise an orgy, which I thought was quite poetic.
So that means she might have had an orgy. She just didn't organise
Yeah, she's
it.
not organised it, but she's done everything else.
Have you been twatted? in the
I've
bedroom?
been definitely choked out.
I've got a mad one for you here, right? This didn't happen
Go
to
on.
me. Hang on. There's going to be a bit of emotion in this, right? So I'm just trying to get it right.
Okay.
You got a ball and gag.
Bend over.
Yeah. So basically, this happened to someone I know. They had like hooked up with this girl, and it kind of petered out, but they were still in touch. And she was out on a night out, and he was at home, but they'd been texting and stuff. And she was like, "I'm out," and he said, "Well, if you like, I'm not too far away. If you need a lift home, I'll sort you out. But like, I'll just doing you a favour. I don't want anything in return." And she was like, "Yeah, like, okay, I'll let you know." So he picks her up, and like driving back, she's like, all over him like this, and he's like, "Yeah, just like I'm just gonna drive you home. Like I don't want anything." She's like, "Do you want to come in for a drink?" And he's like, not really. She's like, "Oh, just come in for one drink." And he's like, "Right, I'll have a cup of tea and then I'm going." Right, like because I just, as I say, I just want to make sure you're getting back. And as he was telling me this, he was like, "No, genuinely." I was like, if I wanted to, I could have, but I was like, I wasn't feeling it. So this keeps going on, right? She like makes him a cup of tea, and he said after the cup of tea, she immediately is just like naked, right? Okay, and says she's like all over him, and he's like, I'm just not feeling it, right? And I should caveat this with the fact that she's like shit at judo, just like MMA and all that, right? Okay, so she is dangerous, right? Yeah, she's like trying to get a bit handsy with him, and she's like moving her arm up onto his neck and just like pressing, right? So like, as they're like, she's like kissing him, and he's a big lad as well. Like, he used to like do bodybuilding and stuff, like, not a softie. But she's like putting pressure on his neck, and he's like, "What are you doing? What you doing?" She's just like, just go with it, just go with it. And then eventually, right? So you imagine I'm her, right? And the guy is like facing around the other way, okay? And his words were, she said, "I want you to really aggressively finger me," right? Oh. Okay, like really aggressively. And as he's doing it, she's loving it, right? Okay, but his head's like low. And she got him in a fucking headlock, right? Okay, and he's just ragging on him like that while he's doing it. And he was like, "I'm big." He was like, "But it was tight."
Yeah,
and I was just like, that sounds horrendous, right? Okay, you've literally popped in for a cup of tea, and like she's nearly made you pass out. Right?
Are you doing jiu-jitsu and aggressive fingering? What's
and like
going
that's
on?
what I mean. I'd be very comfortable to be the point, like, yeah, just like, do you know what? No. Take your gi off, right?
Take your gum shield out. I don't know a cup of tea, yeah?
Stop choking your hands up, right? But I thought that's
mad,
absolutely crackers.
Wow.
I kind of like it though as well. I like people being able to just be like,
Well,
finger me aggressively while I choke you.
I got told as well, right? And it sounds like
empowering, isn't it?
Sounds like all bollocks,
I
but
don't know.
when I was in Dubai in January, I was doing some gigs, right? And you're doing the hotels, and I was chatting to like the hotel manager. I was like, it's a weird part of the world because like geographically,
Where's this?
Mate, Dubai, right? Weird part of the world because geographically it attracts people that work in weapons. It's like you can get to other places in like the Middle East and stuff like that, and it's very, 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 very rich.
Yeah.
So the hotels you're staying in are all like really nice. And I said to this hotel manager, I was like, "You must have had some like characters stay here over the years." And she said, "Yeah, well, when Vladimir Putin was here, he missed all his meetings for the week because he had this like top end Russian prostitute with him the entire time, right?" And you're like,
"Maybe dropping this
yeah.
knowledge on here."
It sounds like such a Jay from In Between us story, doesn't it?
So
He had the top. It was like the top.
Night in with the vlogs.
Yeah. So she's telling me this, and I was like, "That's insane." She was like, "Yeah." And then when Tony Blair came, we gave him the same one, and you're like, right? And she was like, yeah, Tony Blair, Carrie, massive swingers. And I was like, this is mad.
Wow.
Oh, it's either true or just great blagging.
Yeah,
Just get bored on a shift.
Yeah, that is a great lie. It's a good lie. Gotta be.
Well,
How can
I
you
don't know.
check
Just Dubai. I think it's like the Las Vegas, isn't it, of the Middle East?
Do
Yeah,
lie.
that's what
Do
they
lie.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, how do you feel about open relationships?
Open relationships. I mean, yeah,
Are
cool.
you into open relationship?
I'm not in an
How long
open
have- how
relationship,
long
but
have
if
you
if one was in one, like, cool.
If one
would
was
you
in
want
one,
to be on one though? How would you feel if you had to be in one? Would you like?
I feel
it?
like
Would
an extra person around the house would help. Just because it's hard work, isn't it? Like that would it'd be for practical
hoovering.
reasons
Yeah.
more than relationship
Yeah.
reasons. I
So
would
you can
say.
have sex with my missus, but just tied up a bit
Yeah,
before
just
or after.
Yeah.
I don't think you were thinking it was another man, were you?
Well, I don't know actually.
Yeah. Because the fact you said, like, I suppose, yeah, girls can have sex with girls, can't they? Anyone can have sex with anyone. Just ask. That's all
Yeah,
I'd say.
just ask.
You know, if you're going to take anything away from this podcast,
Yeah.
say please.
Ask permission.
Yeah, and also, oh, thank you.
would
know.
you have an open?
No, I
What?
wouldn't.
Why?
It's just not me at all. Like, I'm not someone who gets like jealous about things, but I just wouldn't. Like, the idea of a threesome has never appealed to me ever.
Really?
Yeah, I've just thought like, nah, not for me.
What about a foursome with
Yeah,
three
yeah.
really hot
Yeah.
chicks?
Chicks.
What about with me and Clem when we went to Southport Beach in the?
That was
In
one
the-
time. Right.
It's just
Yeah,
skin,
it was
Harry.
just-
we had
scared, yeah.
windbreakers up. Right, okay. Little deck
So you
chairs.
don't remember when you went into
Yeah.
the room? And
Yeah.
then it was
You-
like.
You grabbed hold of it.
Trying to get him involved.
Clem and Lewis are like, you know what I mean? I find it mad that they're a couple because, like, you know, I know them as like my mates, but obviously, like, they sleep in the same bed and it's just like a weird thought. But when I was there, Clem's like, get him! And she was like pulling at me shorts, like, come on! Obviously playing around, but just dead funny. So I was like, she's pathetically been like, like she's
The guy
milking
was
me.
tickling you as well,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
But I definitely wouldn't be keen for an open relationship. I'd just be like, yeah, everyone's different, but yeah, not for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Too much admin.
What about you two?
I mean, like the idea of it. I don't know. We know people who are in one, and like,
Maybe
I
I'd
don't know.
get there, but I'm not there yet.
yeah, I can see it. I can see why
It
people
sounds like
do it.
something we would do.
But but also I'm like, oh, I don't know.
When you watch the
actually.
documentaries, it's always like confusing. Have you seen the Louis Theroux polyamory?
A
sort
lot of the times it's just the fella. It's the fella's idea, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to do this," and then he can't have sex with anyone, and the woman's just getting smashed by everyone. And
Yeah.
she's just like, "I love this. I
well,
wish we'd
this-
been doing this sooner." And the
Yeah.
guy's like,
Why?
I don't like
He
this
can't have
anymore.
sex because he
Just
can't
just-
perform.
Can't
In
laugh.
their head, no, in
Get
your head,
laid.
you think, "Oh, if I was single, I'd be fucking out there smashing all these girls and that." And then like you become single, and then you go, why is no one fancying me? So they have it in their heads, and they're like, oh, to try and talk. It always seems to be the fella talking the missus into doing it, and then the fella can't have sex because everyone's like not attracted to him or whatever, and the woman's getting
Yeah.
loads of sex,
My best
and they're
mate
just like,
from-
oh no,
Best
I've
mate-
ruined
best
this for
mates in one.
myself.
Yes, an open relationship, and
How open?
so very open.
Really
As in, like,
open.
how many? 1, 2, 3.
So what? So she
Yeah.
had she.
I mean,
Oh,
I was going to make a
It's a
joke
hotel
then.
of
I realise that is your friend.
Right, so
Bled on the
she's
cushion.
she's like gone with women
Right.
because she's pretty smitten with her fella. So all these lads trying to approach her, she's just like, "Oh, you're not as good, so I'm not gonna bother." So she tried it with a woman, but he'll go out and shag someone, and then he comes back and she's turned on that he's shagged someone. So then she's like, "Shag me now."
No, but she was saying she's like trying to like, no, I'll show him what's a good shag. As
Yeah,
well.
so she's like,
So it's like out of
Right.
like
It's
almost. She's
territorial.
competitive.
it's
it
like, oh, you
sounds-
think that was good? Look at what you've got at home. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
he
she
must be
gets turned
fucking-
on that he's gone somewhere else as well.
yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crackers.
That's proper sob that.
But it's all like, it's one of them in it after being with people for so long. That's why like loads of people who are older get into swinging and that, because it's that thing of like, oh, you've done everything else. Oh, that's the new exciting thing.
I know
now.
people that go swinging though, so like I don't see that as a.
Not necessarily now. It's not. It's like a younger
Yeah.
sort of thing now that everyone's a bit more open and that. But usually on the documentaries that you see with swingers and that, it's all older, like
Yeah.
50 and
Well-
above, who've been together for years, and then you go, oh, we just wanted to try something new, and like they've been together like nearly 10 years,
Same as us.
Yeah, and then I think just once you've tried, sort of, if you started venturing like into it, and then you've tried a lot of things, that's just progressively the next thing of like, oh, that might be sexy to see you having sex with someone else. Like, I think it's just a natural thing. It's like when people say if you watch too much porn, like you end up just going like, you watch the fucking little booby channels, and then you're like, what's next? And the next thing you're like, anal, and then you're like, yes, 2 fellas, wow, and then it just fucking snowballs. You get what I mean? Just 2 fellas on the own.
I accidentally had a threesome at uni.
What do you mean, Cameron?
So it was
was
first year.
Was someone asleep in the bed by accident? And
No, so it was a month and 4 days into university. The 20th of October.
I thought you were exactly right.
Yeah.
The secret threesome.
Yeah, because I remember just thinking, well, I've completed it now.
What a day,
I've done. This is too early. Why am I staying in uni? But basically, I got invited to a sleepover by 2 girls, and I'm very naive.
Invited to a sleepover.
They called it a sleepover. I was like, yeah, buzzing for a sleepover.
Did you turn up thinking you was just going?
I thought it was a sleepover.
I would have been exactly
Like
the same.
E.T. on DVD. Like, we're gonna have a great.
Well, I had a tiger onesie. I just turned up in that.
Wow.
So I was just in this tiger onesie at the party, and they were like,
Get your cock out then. Oh, sorry.
well, they were best mates, and so now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, they've planned this.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at the
Were
time.
they dressed as zookeepers?
They were like, well, yeah, we're having a little party with our housemates and stuff. So they were kind of like half drinking, but clearly not into it. And they're like, yeah, we're all going to go to bed now. It's like 11 o'clock. I still didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So then we went into bed, and I was like, oh, we're going to watch a film. So we like lay in bed, but both of them like either side of me.
It's right, Cameron.
I still didn't know.
Go.
I still didn't know. I was
Still
like,
in your onesie?
Are we watching a film? Yeah, still in my tiger onesie.
It's hilarious.
And then, like, time was passing. I was like, there's no film on here. I want to watch a film. So I was like, what do you want to watch? Do you want to watch High School Musical?
Lion King.
And you still had sex with them?
And I still didn't know, yeah. And then at some point, one of them kissed me, and I genuinely, this is how naive I am, I still didn't know. Because they were like, one of them had to say to the other, he's still got his tiger onesie on, before I realised what was happening.
I cannot believe you still closed the deal.
Yeah.
After all this.
Yeah.
That killer instinct of a tiger, mate.
I know, man. That's insane.
Madness. So then that was just like...
I get that, though. I would have been like that oblivious to it as well.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, I'll come over for a sleepover. That sounds fun.
No sleep was had. I turned up the next day. Like, I didn't go home. I went to my mates, woke him up.
Still in a onesie.
Yeah, I was at this point. I put it back on. 8 a.m.
Yeah, so would I. It's like the best onesie you've ever bought in your life. Magic tiger onesie.
Yeah.
It's great.
But my mate's reaction was the best, because like he was fuming. I'd woke him up, and then we got into the lift, and I went, mate, I did it, and he was like, what? And I was like, had a threesome last night, and his mood just instantly changed. He was like
so
buzzing for me. we got in. He was like, lad, you're not going to uni today. Here's the keys. Get a shower if you want one. And then for some reason he opened a bottle of beer and was like, shared a bottle of beer. And he put Bonfire Hearts by James Blunt on and just woke the whole flat up.
Wow.
Yeah. And one of me,
what a contrast of music to put on after you just that's James Blunt, mate. You're gonna fucking love this.
So funny, huh?
Wow.
I remember my mate, because I'm known in our friendship group for being like the luckiest person anyone knows.
Yeah.
So my mate obviously just had been woke up by this, had heard the commotion or whatever, and he must have heard us talking. And he was going to uni. He walked around he like popped his head round the door, and he just went, "Cam, have you had a threesome?" And I was like, "Yeah." He went, "Fuck's sake!" And he just
Oh man, that's so funny.
Good. Is it good having 4 boobs instead of 2?
Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, it was mad crazy. High School Musical was in the background.
It was wild, I think is the word in it.
It was Wildcats.
Wow.
Is there anything on your bucket lists?
Your fuck it list.
That's what it's called, isn't it? It's like a bucket list.
Do you have a type? You're single now?
Well, yeah, no, I'm actually in the very early days of a relationship, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you just in general, since this is all made up, what's your type?
Oh, I definitely have a type. Dark hair, dark eyes.
Yeah.
That was shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
I don't ever think I've had a type, me, and I don't know if that's what's that?
But they've all been brunettes. So
yeah, but not on purpose. One was ginger, but dyed her hair. But it wasn't brunettes on purpose though.
I had a conversation about this recently because they were saying like if a guy is a type, it puts a pressure on the person that is that type. But then I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with that because I think girls do have types in some certain, in some ways.
Yeah.
But there are, like, I know some guys that I like fake boobs, fake lips, and I'm like, that is the furthest from what I would go for at all.
Yeah,
but like, if you are, say, if you met a girl that didn't have either of them things, but you liked her, and then you kind of coerced her into getting them things, that's like seriously fucking wrong.
That's
like,
mad.
Don't be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, if someone was like, well, I know you like curly hair, so I'll start curling my hair. It's like you do you. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not making you do it or asking you to do it, whatever.
But like, if you're like, do you ask me, do you prefer my hair curly and straight? I'll tell you curly. You know what I mean? It's like, I definitely do have a type, but I wouldn't. Don't get me wrong though. I think you can find people like very pretty, but you're not attracted to them. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, I see, like redheads, loads of different types of women. I'm like, you're gorgeous.
Redheads, loads of different types.
No, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to pick like the furthest from brunette. I feel like redhead, blonde.
Trying to pick the ugliest ones.
Some redheads are gorgeous. So I think it's the idea of you might not be attracted to that person.
You have a taste, don't you? You have your own taste, and like you like one, but you don't like the other. It's the same for what you find attractive, isn't it? It's like, like you said, you can look at someone and know, like, logically they are stunning.
Objectively,
it's
beautiful.
like, but I just don't have an attraction to you, which like,
it's like I pick an example of Jennifer Lawrence, very attractive, but I'm not attracted to her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's like, but whereas like Eva Mendes, I'd be like, she is drop dead gorgeous because that I'm attracted to her. But I
celebrity like celebrity crush that Eva Mendes.
Yeah, I loved Eva Mendes when I was a kid. I like Penelope Cruz.
Drew Barrymore for me.
Really?
Yeah, really. Like I thought she was fun.
Yeah.
Every time I hear
just
the
be
name,
like, Clem, Drew lives with us now. Yeah.
Every time I hear the name Drew Barrymore, Michael Barrymore flashes into my head first. Just for a split second, it goes, "Who's that?" Oh, not him.
Yeah, different one.
So that was a mad sentence.
That's what I mean. Yeah. My celebrity crush was Michael Barrymore. Is what I heard. But essentially,
that's how it's going to be edited together. Michael Barrymore.
It is funny though, because you see like, you see on like dating sites things like this, like girls saying, "If you aren't 6 foot, I don't want to know."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but that's fine if you want to, put that out there.
If you aren't size 10, they go.
Yeah. But it's like, when I would speak to girls, they'd be like the one thing they hated is if guys were like, I want someone that doesn't take themselves too seriously, right? But
you'd
like,
stand up as a clown and they go, "What the fuck are you doing?" You're like, serious?
Penny farthing.
Yeah,
But I would say as well, like you could find someone really attractive, and then the moment they open their mouth, it just fucking nosedives, and you're like,
Birmingham accent.
Yay.
No, same measure. Like this was a long time ago. I remember I was in Barcelona, and I was away on we were interrailing, me and my mates, and there was a group of girls who were staying in this hostel, and we just got chatting to him, and this one girl, like I didn't look at her and think, wow, you know what I mean? But we were just drinking and chatting, and by the end of the evening, I was like, I'm actually quite attracted to you, but my perception of you from 6 hours ago is vastly different. And that's the thing, is like, I think things can be turned on and off, and like I wouldn't. It's not to say if I met someone who had blonde hair, I would totally be like, nah, I'm not interested at all. But I suppose
your instant attraction to.
I just find dark hair's quite striking.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
So that's just reminded me to do with dates, but also Cameron, have you got any fetishes? I'm going to ask you in a minute.
Fetishes?
Yeah. But, right, so I'm starting a thing called Date Our Mate, and I'm going to try and find Callum Oakley, the love of his life. So what I want you to do is send in your profile to the mildhighclubuk@gmail.com, and we'll all go on double date.
Yeah.
Me, Dean, you, Callum.
Send them in.
And we'll have a great time. Don't matter where you are in the UK, we'll come to you and we'll do an activity. That sounds good. And Cameron will be there as well with a camera in the bushes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So send us in your resumes, your dating profiles.
Yeah, if you like.
And also any questions or anything else you want
like,
to talk about on the podcast. The Mild High Club
guys with
UK@gmail.com.
long foreskin. Callum's
Got a
your
long
mate.
foreskin, Callum Money.
I was with Callum last night,
Oh yeah.
and his droopy foreskin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was he?
He was alright. He was on a bit of a come down.
Oh yeah.
So,
Classic.
Yeah, I was like, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "You seem quiet." And he said, "This is the first conversation I've had today." And I was like, "It's great, mate. You're about to do a gig." And he was like, It's like, what happened? He was like, it's just kind of out.
He just
out
lives in
past that.
town now, so
Yeah,
it's just out
Oh,
now.
that's
he's
it.
a man about town, isn't he? But yeah, I got a lot of love for Cal.
Oh, yeah.
Is there another Mild High Club? Because I just Mild High Club UK. That's-
Band
There's a band, is there?
in America.
in America.
Are they big?
And yeah, they are
Pretty
big, and
big.
they've messaged us recently going, "Hey, ellipses," and then Dean just sent the Spider-Man gift back.
Had the reply.
So, right, what happened? The story with the name was, when we were doing this, we were like, we need a cool name. I thought of a name on my own, didn't know these existed. And then I was like, that name's too good, though. I was like, someone must have had this before. I can't be the first person that's thought of this. Looked, Mild High Club band. They're just called Mild High Club, though. We're the Mild High Club.
Of course.
Anyway, and they were on a hiatus. I was like, oh, they're not even a band anymore, it's sound. And then like a year into us doing this, it was like, back together for a new album. And I was like,
Right.
fuck you guys. And then they followed us on Twitter and unfollowed us ages ago. And I was like, they're on to us here. And then they video called us on Instagram one night.
Why?
Oh,
I don't know, it's mad. And then...
That would have been fun to answer, though, wouldn't it?
And
We've got 10 grand to give you.
because they're in California, like, it's always mad times.
Yeah.
It was like 5 a.m. or something. And then the other day, they messaged us just saying, hey, ... And then I sent a Spider-Man gift back.
Yeah.
Just being like... And then they went, can we have, what was it?
Your
Legal counsel's
counsels.
It's an American band.
email. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they basically want to take over your
Well,
pod.
I don't
We
know,
just
because
sent-
we sent them our email back and was just like, look, I don't know what you think. Like, we are. We don't
Legal
have legal counsel.
counsel.
You know what I
I
mean?
was
Like,
here's my Gmail.
send us an email
Here's
and
the
that.
dates. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's weird.
Might be changing our name, but we'll see. Hopefully not.
Might be changing the name, but it's
I
just
would,
a different country, different industries.
Yeah.
Like, you can find them
yeah,
easily enough. It's not like people are looking for them, finding us and going,
yeah.
well, I can possibly not find the band anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's yeah.
But I
so-
suppose, like, if, let's say, for example, like Game of Thrones, I bet you there's, like, Game of Thrones podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, called Game of Thrones.
They might want to start a podcast. That might be what it is.
It'd be like, well, I
Well, that's
started
too
it
late
fir-
then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
started. It's a
Unlucky.
different
Yeah.
medium. Like,
Yeah.
you've got your handles.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm on your side.
yeah, man. He's meant to be cool, like psychedelic stoner rock, and they're hitting us with fucking
Yeah.
legal
I
counsel.
bet they're just in a
anything-
green room going, this will be funny. We'll video
I
call
hope
them
so.
and then they will do this
Yeah,
and then we'll do
I hope it's a big joke, and they're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
oh, we're only fucking with you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we come on the podcast?
Yeah, get on
Well,
the
that's it.
podcast.
For me, if I was, like, trying to, like, build my own podcast or do something, surely you'd be like, these guys have got a good following, a loyal
Yeah,
following
yeah.
online.
Mm.
I'll try and let us come and get on the pod
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
help us boost their stuff.
Yeah.
But they've gone nasty, and I don't like it.
We haven't been contacted yet though, so we're still waiting
No.
to see
Well, I'm
what
sorry.
they actually do.
If they're all right, I'm sorry.
We'll come back and edit this down, so we got the mild, really good guys. But yeah, might be changing the name at some point. We don't know. What?
Fetish.
Oh yeah.
Fetish.
You got
No, I think my fetish is probably not having a fetish. Don't really like. I just like it to be normal.
I think it's one of them where if you're like so into something and then that is like, do you
Your
know
only
that Greek
thing.
comedian Stavios? You know, like big fat Greek guy. He's dead funny, man.
Yeah, he's very
Stavios
funny.
exactly. Like,
Oh, American.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He said about he's got a bit of material about people being into choking, and he's like, I get that. He's like, but you can't you're not doing that every time. You know what I mean? Like, no one's having morning sex, being like,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
and like the whole bit is just about that. And I think if you are like so dead into something, like I mean, fair enough, but if that is the only thing that's going to get you off, that seems like a lot.
Niche. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you need that every time.
Like I'm not into being dominated or being submissive. I don't like a plan. I just like it to like
I'm
whatever
the
happens.
same as you in that
do you know
sense.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
just go with it.
Whatever happens. Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't want to be battered. You know what I mean?
Just don't
fair.
hit me.
Yeah, just being like beat up.
Yeah. That's fair. I understand that.
There's nothing worse than when someone would say like, people in the past have asked me to hit them,
Yeah,
That's
and then
an awkward one.
and then I've like kind of like gone, well, yeah, okay, we're in the moment. I'll do something, and then they're like, no harder, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I just
That's
Callum,
it.
don't
Callum
wanna-
got asked to like by a girl if he would hold a knife to her throat
whoa.
whilst he shagged her. That's dangerous. That
yeah.
it'd have to be like a
Prop.
plastic sword.
I remember being.
I don't think it'd be as
Not
sexy though if it was like a butter knife. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You'd want like a big carving thing. You know?
remember-
Sort of mood,
I remember
yeah.
bit, Andy. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
around
yeah.
Andy's house, and like me and my mates were there. And for some reason, we were like, I think we were about 18 or something like that. Anyways, he was messing about with this knife, like this big knife in his kitchen, and he's like going, way, way, like pretending like throw it. And Yates, he goes like that and wazzes it at Yates. Obviously keeps hold of the handle, but the blade comes out.
Oh my
And
God.
hits him in the neck.
Oh,
Hits him in the neck. And Yates, he goes, and then we're looking at him. He's looking at us. And then he just runs upstairs.
to die.
And you've killed him. You killed him. Run upstairs. It was like not even a scratch.
a little
Yeah,
nick,
it wasn't
yeah.
even anything, but it was just
hell.
that shock of like the size of the knife, how fast it hitting him,
No way.
and just thinking, this is bad, lads.
I seen a
This
video.
is
That
uh,
would have been
Holding
awful.
it like that,
Yeah,
and scared
yeah,
to
and the
reveal
noise
it.
went-
Jesus.
I seen a horrible video of like a house party and a guy's got a big samurai sword and he's got like fella's got like a cucumber in his mouth.
Oh no.
He's like that.
I don't like
Oh,
I don't like it when
like
Dean
that.
starts talking about these
And
stories.
he goes like this, he goes, boop, and the guy's nose just goes,
Oh no!
just cuts it right off, it just folds over the other way. And just
Your algorithm is the worst.
So the thing is,
God.
it's
That
rough,
is like
lad.
made
Got
my
your
ass go.
Got your nose.
the thing is, some people like my mates will watch something like that and they'll be like, oh, like,
Yeah.
and for me, I'm just like, no, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
No.
I just go heavy that.
But like the fact that
innit?
you can do it, I'm like, I just
You know,
don't, I don't want
It's
that.
been, it was the internet desensitized me at a very young age.
Sorry, just before you say, have you seen that thing recently about the blade you got fingers cut off?
Hmm?
Have you not
Fingers
seen that?
cut off.
Yeah, and a fella got his leg.
Oh, but because they owed money to people, didn't he?
Mate, that was
It was
ju-
Scottish. The machete gang come and fucking...
Yeah.
Yo, fellas from like Scotland, like Glasgow ways, but he owed a gang money, and basically the gang come in and just fucking cut his leg off, cut his hands off and all that. But did you see the video of him in the hospital?
No, I got told about it. But where he's going? Oh,
There's a video of him going, you can take my legs, but you'll never take my fucking life, you little pussies. And you're like, oh my God.
he's had his leg chopped off.
He's got no legs, no fingers, and nothing. He's just like, fuck you, we pussies. You're
hang
like,
on.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
hard
from
as
the
fuck.
hip.
No, it's from, I think it's from the,
Oh
the
my-
knee
They've
down.
took,
That
they
is
took his
hard.
leg off. They've took
Yeah,
his
lad.
leg off.
Fucked him up, and then he's just posting videos going, he didn't kill me though, did you little mings? And you're like, oh my God, what are you doing?
But
The balls it takes to do
I
that.
know.
Yeah, you may
Yeah.
as well.
That's
Oh,
hard.
you
that.
mate, no.
That's
that,
mad.
No.
yeah. The thing is, what's mad for me is like that happens. Like
Yeah.
that is the
Yeah.
Yeah,
third.
it's
Like,
insane, isn't it? It's crazy.
oh my God, unbelievable.
Yeah. Not about that life. Not about that
I'm trying
debt
to remember
collector
one of
life.
them stories.
You imagine he's sorry, just as he's lying in the bed and his mate with the phone going, "Are you sure you want to
You
do
sure?
this?
Yeah.
Are you sure?"
His mate can't even open the phone 'cause you've got no thumbs. Like,
Is that anaesthetic wore off? Just click fucking record now. I'm telling him.
oh, the next day, looking at your notifications, going, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Who's that? Why is
Machete
that me?
067. We're coming for you. Oh.
Mate, that's heavy. That getting your fucking limbs chopped off.
but
innit?
yeah, but then
'Cause
just
you
being
owe
like,
Joe.
and what? Like, what else are you gonna do?
He
Like,
just wants to be killed. It's by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
He's saying like, you fucking took my legs and my fingers and that, but you fucking didn't take my life, you little pussies. And you're like, you're mad.
Yeah.
You are mad.
if you was on the other side of that, would you feel a bit embarrassed that he was doing that? Like, if you was the one who'd obviously took
he's-
his leg, would
mean,
you
I
be
don't-
looking at that going, fair play? Like,
You'd be like,
balls
this
in
guy's
that.
crazy, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You've got to respect it
Yeah, I think so.
as the machete.
I'm scared to
wielder.
talk
Yeah.
about a machete gang, to be honest.
Well, that's it. As soon as I started
Great work,
talking about
guys.
it, maybe
Great
edit
work.
certain parts out.
Yeah, I mean, if you are a fan of the Mild High Club, welcome. Big fan of your work.
We
Well, I mean,
I-
It's public forum. I mean, I think it's on Facebook, I think, at some point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So, right, mate, honestly, I'm just saying snitches get the legs chopped off. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
anything.
I don't know any of them
I
yet.
actually don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
I've got anxiety.
Nothing.
I'm just like sinking into the shirt.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Um,
about more horrible videos. This year.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one of them questions?
One of these questions is how would you like to die, and I think that's my new
How
one.
would you like to die?
Is it?
Just a quick one. So I was having a conversation about with my mates the other day, and obviously the tank thing's happened, hasn't it? Like that tank imploded.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen about it, the submarine, sorry.
Mm.
And I was saying,
Fast way to go, that.
well, before we knew it had imploded,
Mm.
I was thinking that like it was like an oxygen limit, wasn't it? At
Yeah,
first, that was
yeah.
like what we was talking about. And I was saying, would it be worse to go via oxygen, like sort of leave
It's
it
meant to be
like,
quite nice, that.
Yeah, 'cause
or
it's
drowning?
It's
out of them
gradual
two?
because
They're both the same. it's both a lack of oxygen to the brain, innit?
Yeah, but like drowning is immediate.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The idea.
But I don't think it is immediate though, because your body would be holding your breath.
Yeah, but what I'm
until
saying
you
is, if
passed
you're in the
out,
water, you obviously you can't.
You've inhaled.
Yeah,
the
you're inhaling water, and
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
But the idea of if you slowly drain the oxygen out of a room, people would just pass out.
Yeah.
Like you would obviously get a shortness of breath, but you become like lightheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as horrific as like someone strangling you.
Yeah.
And drowning is an immediate like.
Like
You-
fire.
yeah.
It
But
feels
I've
like
heard,
fire in
I've
your
heard
lungs.
drowning's meant to be one of the most euphoric ways to die.
Who off?
Yeah, it's all
It's
right.
On the
algorithm.
internet, yeah, it's my algorithm. I don't know, man. That's,
One of the most euphoric ways.
Yeah, because-
just asking some like,
because you,
how do you feel?
because
Yeah.
it's a similar thing of just cutting the oxygen off to the brain. Like I got choked out in jiu-jitsu once and didn't even know it happened.
I think one of the most painful ways to go would be like either being eaten alive or like burning. I think you think of like putting your hand near a
Burning,
candle.
yeah, it would be
Like that would
be bad until
fucking-
all the
Yeah.
nerves were done, and then
You
I
know-
think you'd be all right.
I remember
but you just pass out. Do you
I
know what
remember
I
a
mean?
scene in what's it called, when We Were Soldiers,
Yeah.
that Mel Gibson like Vietnam War film. They dropped napalm, and it lands like on the American troops because of how close it is.
And they're just on
And
fire.
you're just like you're like a burning
Have
zombie.
you seen the invisible fire in the F1?
No.
Sorry, just like back in the day, I think they used like a different fuel, and it burns invisible.
Wow.
Oh.
So there's videos of people crashing, being on fire, and they're
You can't
just
see no
running.
flame.
It's like
Around.
Talladega Nights. No, he's
Yeah.
running around going, ah!
Yeah.
They're all on fire, and then they run towards, and people will go fucking like, and then they're on fire, and
Oh.
like, but they can't see where it is. And that. Oh man, it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
crazy. They're just on fire, and no one can even
Yeah.
tell. Like it's mad. Sorry, go on.
But no, just these lads are like cooked, and
Yeah.
they used to use a grenade called phosphorate, and it sticks to your skin, and you've just
Yeah.
got like, and unless you cut it off, it will just burn all the way through. And I think something like that, like the levels of like you obviously got layers of skin,
Yeah.
and being burnt, and then like having treatment on that, they put you in like a tent because the temperature of the room will seriously fuck you up.
Yeah,
So I
even just
think-
air, oxygen getting
Yeah,
to it is just
anything burning wise, I imagine would be
Yeah.
like constant excruciating pain.
I imagine getting
Kidnap
pulled
and
through.
Torture,
Yeah, torture's a bad one. Isn't it?
Torture.
just tied up in someone's basement while they
Being
hack away. Yeah.
being like pulled through something industrial
Yeah.
Oh,
that's like
Oh.
not big enough for you to fit through, but you're getting pulled through by a
slowly, yeah.
machine, so there's just
I
no
got-
stopping it.
Yeah.
This is do you know, obviously they see stuff in the summer about like young people drowning in reservoirs and things like that.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine works in the school and was saying that they had people come in and do like safety talks about swimming in open water. And United Utilities in their reservoirs, because they're obviously man-made, right? They have like they almost go like this. They have like a ledge like that, and there's currents underneath. So you could be stuck under this bit of the concrete ledge, and the surface is right above you there, but you're down here.
And there's water just pushing you down.
You can't get through.
Ugh.
And they were saying how like they've had to. The pipes which drain, obviously, they've like pulled bodies out of that before
Yeah.
because people have been like sucked into it. And I think the idea of being completely powerless in that sense, like the fear of that,
Done. Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's like horrendous, isn't it? But
Ugh.
yeah, there's awful ways to go.
what do you
In me
what do you
sleep,
think
just
about-
passing
yeah,
out
that'd be
away.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you know so many people have like near-death experiences, or where they do die and then they go above the bodies and they can see what's happening? What do you think of that?
Well, I'll tell you an experience I had, but it was a dream. And
Okay.
it's just always stuck with me, and it is bonkers, right? So I get killed in this dream, right? Get killed. And obviously,
How?
I think I get like poisoned or something. I
Oh.
get like poisoned with something. Anyway, I die. And it's pitch black. I can't see anything. Obviously, it's just nothingness. Then like all these lights start flashing,
Yeah.
like going past me fast. And it's like I'm traveling really fast. Anyway, I'm traveling. And then I'm born again. Right? I am born again.
Yeah.
I look up, it's not my mum and dad who I know, it's a different family. And then I live my life through this dream, get to an age where I can talk again, and then tell the parents in my dream that they're not my real parents, and I go and find my own. And that is my experience of
Mate,
dying in a dream.
That's
Be the most best all made up episode in the world if we could
That's
get that on a
insane.
card.
That. Yeah.
That is bonkers, isn't it? And I
Yeah,
remember it so vividly. It was weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, you're not my parents. I'm going to grow up and be a warthog.
But
Imagine your
just
kid
trying-
said that to you, though. You'd be like,
It
Yeah.
does happen,
It's
doesn't
happened,
it?
yeah.
Kids
Is
who,
it?
believe they've been reincarnated, and they'll give details about how they died, and then the parents look it up, and there is someone who's died like that, and they're like, whoa.
I
oh.
like the idea of reincarnation, but whether it's obviously true
Only
or
if you
not.
get to pick.
Yeah, it'd be great if you
I
could
don't want to
pick.
come back as a slug
Oh.
or something.
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be shite being a slug.
I think
yeah.
cunts come back as slugs.
Yeah.
You are
Cunts.
I'd want to
Oh,
come back
yeah.
as something sick, like an orca or something.
an orca,
Yeah.
An orca.
Yeah.
top of the food chain.
Killing everything then. They started taking boats down and everything.
For fun.
Oh.
Fun.
Psychos.
No,
Sailing it.
genuinely, like, there's orcas have been attacking boats now.
Yeah.
And they think it might be because, like, say, like, they get injured going through, like, close to the engine of the boat or whatever. So they see it, because obviously they don't know
So they're just
what
like,
it
let's
is
take
exactly.
them out.
When they're fishing,
So they're
they
like,
just
that
drag
killed, fuck, or that
the
injured,
ocean.
whatever. And then they fucking started capsizing
Yeah.
loads of boats and that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Jesus.
Wow.
Schmack.
And they eat sharks. So I'm like, well, I'm
Yeah.
fucking, I'll be one of them
Yeah,
then.
they're class.
Do you believe in afterlife or anything? Do you
I
believe a soul? Or
I'm not like, I'm spiritual, but I don't believe in heaven and hell. But I do think
do you believe
I don't think
energies?
I think there's something, because the people in my family, I've never seen any spirits or anything like that, but there's people in my family that have had experience with spirits, and I don't think there's no reason for them to lie. So I'm like, just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it can't not be, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think when you're dead it's just a case of you are completely.
It feels like it can't be.
I
It
think
feels
it's
too mad
simulation. I think
to.
it's a game.
But then, like, Bill Burr in a special one time was talking about the idea of like this, and said how he spoke to a guy who said, "Do you remember what it was like before you were born?" And he was like, "No," and he was like, "Well, that's what it's going to be like when you're dead,
Yeah.
because you just, things
Yeah.
switch off." So I don't know, but it'd be mad to think if there is a heaven and you're in like this like white space with fucking billions of people,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh my god, that's Martin Luther King," and like.
What if it's all just one?
What do you mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like a
No, but I mean, what if you just go up and it's just one?
You're the only one who's made it.
No, just
All right.
you and everything.
Everything is,
You are.
you
You
are
and
everything.
God is
Everything was
you.
you. You just
become
come up
part
with
of
all
it,
that.
yeah.
You
Mad.
are Martin Luther King.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just become part of it all.
that would be mad.
Yeah.
It's just what? It's just
I'm
all
Anderson.
little
So we're
offshoots of
all
the
each other.
Mm.
of
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we all come from the
Yeah.
universe, don't we?
This
Stardust.
sounds
God
like
creates man in his own
something
image.
people say is they take their clothes off and go, "We should probably start touching each other.
Yeah.
We're all one."
Just
You're like,
skin.
wow, yeah, it's just
Just
skin.
skin.
It's just skin. Just let it happen.
You're
Yeah.
defo coming back as a lobster. Gotta.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, bottom of the ocean. But yeah, do you?
I like the idea of like your eyes shutting for the last time and then them opening again instantly into like the next life.
Yeah.
Whatever
I-
that is.
I tried to
Whatever that is, yeah.
I tried to write a bit a while ago about this, and the idea of, say, if you do come back with something, right? Say you die, and then you end up, so your eyes have shot on Earth, and you're like, right, okay, you end up in this like waiting room, okay, and there's like two angels on a desk, massive books in front of them. One of them's like, right, you need to sign your old name off on this,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna get your new name on this book here,
Right, yeah, yeah.
okay. And then like people just being like, but like I've literally just died there, like the line's moving. Like
Yeah.
you either get your name or you fucking
Get in or
don't.
get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you die and that like it's like a 5 minute. And I imagine, do you know like the things in Argos where they make you queue like that?
Yeah.
That is what you do. And then you're just like out the door like enjoy, and you're like and then it's
Yeah.
like you're covered in plasm and that.
Back out again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll all find out one day, and so will you,
Yeah.
because it happens to all of us. That's the one thing that like it's terrifying, but also quite calming in the fact that like it's the only
Yeah.
definite for everyone.
Yeah.
We can have completely different lives, but then that happens to all of us. So
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
find
well,
that
that's
so
kind of meant to
comforting.
happen then, innit?
Well,
Yeah.
the converse is obviously advancements what are happening now,
Yeah.
like with AI and medicine and this, that, and the other.
Keep
Like if
everyone
there was an
alive.
option to like go in longer, and like what?
Depends.
When's the right age?
If I get pain free, can I be pain free?
yeah, you can sort
Because I
knees
wouldn't
and
want
shoulders.
me body to stay alive, but
Yeah.
it'd be withering away still. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
They spoke about this though, being like, say if people live to say 200, right? That will completely change like society
Oh, yeah.
in a sense of I you'd like move. You might move out of your parents' home at like 70.
Yeah.
Right, you might get
Midlife
married.
crisis at 100.
Exactly, but you might have like 5 marriages. You know what I mean? Because say if you met someone at 30, you're gonna tell me, and you're with them for 100 years.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so I think
You have to start putting the ages up of everything because 18's well too young to drink if you can live till 200.
yeah.
Innit?
Yeah.
But imagine spending 100 years with someone and then going, you know what?
You know,
I'm done.
Cheating on someone after 100 years.
I'm done, Janine.
Oh my
How
god.
funny would that be though if they put the age up and everything, and it's like you're 24 and you're still doing like finger painting, and they're just like, this is shit.
Yeah.
Like, I understand like physics, and they're like, your caterpillar's looking really good, Thomas.
I watched a documentary the other day called The Clone King. Have you watched that on Netflix? It's a new one on Netflix. So basically, a doctor in South Korea, right, where like back in the 80s was started cloning stuff like animals and was successful, like the top doctor at cloning. So you've had like Dolly the sheep and everything like that. He was cloning dogs, sheep, livestock, everything. Then this other doctor who was in Saudi Arabia had this camel. It was the last of its kind. And it was like it was like a special animal, but last of its kind, and it died. So someone said, right, chop its testicles off and keep them. 10 years down the line, the South Korean doctor gets asked to come over to Saudi Arabia. He creates 10 more of the camels.
Fuck off.
From that camel. So
Does
it's
it work?
It's worked. And now these camels are like a massive like pride of Saudi Arabia. So, but what they're saying is, what the South Korean doctor was saying is, your heart stopping and you dying, he doesn't class that as dead. It's when your cells die. So he didn't even need the camel's
Still have
testicles.
energy in them.
He can take a skin sample.
Yeah.
And if there's still like if there's a nucleus in it, then he can clone it. So then it got into him cloning humans, and then that's where the sort of documentary starts to.
That's where the
expand.
conspiracy of there's.
That's when he made Ant and Dec.
All the celebrities get cloned. Though, innit?
Whoa.
That's what they say. Like Eminem's been cloned, and like Paul McCartney and all shit like that.
Well, the thing is that it's scientifically possible. That is the mad thing. So would you be cloned? Would you be like, I'd offer my...
I'd only be cloned if I could then put my head into it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't just want another one of me, because then I'm still in this one.
Right.
I'd be like, clone me again at 30 and put my head in it.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
Right.
It's
You know what I
like,
mean?
can you still be you once you've been cloned?
Yeah.
But there's a guy on it, can't remember where he's from, but he has a dog called Chillo, and it died, and he was like, this dog can't be dead.
Yeah.
And it follows his story of him getting his dog cloned and then burying his old dog, but with his new dog next, like saying, this was you. He's just...
The dog's just like, huh?
Yeah, he's like, what you did?
Just throw the ball, you dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's bonkers, though. It
That's
is
insane,
bonkers.
that. What a mad place to end, I think. Wrap it up there, innit?
Really
Go and watch
need a
it.
way.
The clone.
Yeah,
thing.
check that out, defo. So, again, remind people, your podcast's all made up.
All Made Up
All Made
podcast.
Up.
We're at All Made Up Pod across all the socials. It's me, Lewis, and Ben Hart who run it. It's a good laugh in it.
So,
Great.
laugh. Also,
It's really good.
send some. So basically, we take viewer prompts or listener prompts. So you can send in lines, which we've got to then incorporate into the story.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
always fun as well, innit?
Yeah.
if you've got anything that you can send over, like leave it as comments on this video or like post them on a video of
Yeah,
ours.
go check it out. It's dead funny.
Yeah. and we'll sort
And
it.
you still running gigs and that? The Whiskey Jar gig?
Yeah. Killer Comedy Club.
Sorry. Yeah.
So when will this go out, by the way?
Next week on Patreon and the week after.
All right, okay, sweet. Well, yeah, me and Lewis run Killer Comedy Club, which are like pop-up nights around Manchester. I've got a solo show as well, which is in Manchester on the 30th of August. There's about 25 tickets left for that, so if you want to get on it, please do.
Yeah, go
'cause
check
it
out
looks like it's
Harry's
gonna sell out.
Instagram as well. She put loads of clips up all the time. And that
Yeah,
one,
lots of stand-up stuff.
It
class.
was sorry, I think it was like, how do you like wish apples or something?
Yeah.
How'd you like Wheeze Apples?
How'd you like? Yeah, because Wee
Nice.
Man were in it.
Yeah.
Wee
There
Man were in
you
it.
go. There we go. So that was our
There we
episode.
go.
That's
Made
like
it.
Wee
It only took us an hour and 40 minutes to remember the name.
That is very good.
But yeah, go check them podcasts out and that. Have you got anything else you want to plug?
No, just thank you very much for having us on. Do
No worries,
appreciate
man.
it.
It was
Thanks
class.
for coming.
Dead fun.
Woo. Loads of
Go
fun.
check that
Cheers,
out.
man.
We've got Patreon.
Yes.
Loads of stuff over on Patreon. What's on there?
Oh, so many
So much.
things.
We'll tell you on the advert at the start.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Sign up, send your stuff in, send your resumes in if you want to date Callum.
Sweet.
The Mild High Club UK at gmail.com, and maybe we'll change our name in the future.
Nice.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.